we got K Cardman, we got Lil Q. It's a bunch of later artists, a lot of female artists that we got out here. Yeah, and a lot of male artists too. But
That's what I'm talking about. Might as well, Nothing
hmm
wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, peace, Digiwaxx Media, and peace, Jay Cristal. Sorry to interrupt y'all's conversation. I just want to introduce myself. It's my first time here.
Okay. All right, what up, DJ Dab? What's happening?
Man, feeling good to be here. I got invited by Dot Hip Hop via Scott and Ananje.
Oh, yeah. Jenny, yes. Okay, well, welcome, man. This is like our we getting, sorry, we gonna, as people jump in, we'll get into the real runner show, but yo, thanks for pulling up.
No doubt.
Should be a good one. Should be a good one. Should have some good conversations. I'm sure, Brittany got some questions and T-Rex and everybody. So, it should be all right.
Hey, I was liking what I was hearing already. So yeah. Just keep chopping it up. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. She said I do.
Exactly. I see in the chat. I tell you, it should be pretty wild. You know what I mean? But yeah. Well, yeah, we're just gonna hang out for a second, let the room sort of fill up a little bit, and then we'll get into the mix. Well, wait, Dad, where you tapping in from?
Tapping in from the Bronx, Riverdale.
Oh, you right here. You at home. That's good. Shout out to Riverdale.
Shout out to Riverdale. Right by Kingsbridge, bro. Where you at?
I'm in White Plains. I'm in New York.
Okay. You just I don't even know hop, skip, or jump.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Shout out to I love it over there, man. I love getting, because technically that's above Van Cortlandt Park, but I love Van Cortlandt Park.
Hey, it's my first time on this side. I used to live in the Bronx, BK, Nostrand and Fulton, growing up before I moved to California. So I'm loving this part of the Bronx. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You by the water, it's right. Beautiful views, no drama over there like that. It's like the drama skips over y'all. So it's good, man. Shout out to Riverdale. My cousin lives over there actually, and he moved there from Queens. So a lot of cats.
Yeah.
Hip hop representing today. I see you. What up? What up, old school?
What's good? What's good, CL?
Nick San Antonio, we playing, y'all.
Oh man, but we lost Wemby for the year, so what this? We might as well just start building for next year. And they hello?
Yeah, what's that about though? What happened? Why you get hurt?
Oh, they say he got some kind of thrombosis, vein. I forgot what they call it, vein thrombosis, which I guess it's something in his blood, blood clot in his vein. So in order to thin it out, you got to take blood thinners. And when you take blood thinners, you can't exert yourself. So he can't really play because he's taking on blood thinners to clear that blood clot out. And if that blood thinners don't work, then he might have to have surgery on his shoulder to try to clear it out. But they say it's one of those injuries that you can come back from, and he ain't going. It's not no long-term effects. So hopefully,
I'm just like, why did they shut him down for the whole year? That's crazy.
Yeah, and we just got to Aaron Fox. I was like, oh man, we about to make some noise, and then all of a sudden that happened.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But they got a good team even without him. They just don't know how to close things out. They start off good and then they just give up at the in the second half for some reason. Every game that they didn't play, they've always had the lead.
Yeah, well, I think y'all are the future. I mean, he's the future, clearly, like one of them.
Plus Castle too. You ever see him play?
Nah.
Stephon Castle.
Nah.
He was in the All-Star game. He won the MVP for the Rising Stars.
Okay.
And then he was second place in the dunk contest behind that white dude. You didn't see the dunk contest?
Yo, so this year I went upstate. Me and David that be on the call, David Lopez. We went up to the Black Caucus weekend up in Albany. So it was weird because it was on, but we're talking at the table. I didn't get a chance to really zone in. And I'm one of them guys. It's weird, man. Like I can't like I'll rewatch it, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? So
Right,
I'm
right,
not
right.
really. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't really sweating
you
that
watch
shit.
highlights of it, it ain't the same, but
Bingo, you know the deal. It's not the same, man. It's
yeah.
just not the same. So it's all
Plus,
good.
plus there wasn't no Knicks in there. I think we were paying attention to Jalen Brunson. Wasn't Jalen Brunson in the 3-point contest? I think we checked for a little bit.
He was, man. He
So
definitely was. It's all good.
They
Yeah,
said the Spurs cheated on that skills challenge because they just threw the ball up and wasn't trying to shoot, just trying to get the fastest time, and they disqualified them for that. Chris Paul and Wemby.
is that right? I didn't see. I
Yeah.
didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that, man. I didn't see any of that. So much going on, man. Yeah. Anyway, it's another great Friday. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into some shit. We'll see what happens.
Is Wednesday the new Friday?
Oh my God, it's another Wednesday. That's a funny thing. Facts. Today is a Wednesday. A lot of records did come out midweek, though. It's getting like crazier. People are just dropping when they want to drop. So, you know how that goes. You know?
Going back some Tuesday drops.
Yeah, like music is, cats doing whatever they want to do. All right. I see Leak Tab is back. WNSB Hot 91 in the building. Shout out to Sean Dog. He's in the building. Darius Olafus. Welcome. Or Darius. Who else? Israel's in the building. All right. Swerve. The Funky Skunk. Of course, Kermit. DJ Malone. All right. I like the logo. And Unoriginal Fiend. Very original name. Shout out to Chicago 77.3 in the building. And yeah, man, I hope everybody's doing well. Like I said before, this looks like it's going to be a jam-packed day. And, we'll just take it in, man. There's always new music dropping. And I hope, everybody sort of told somebody jump on today. We just want to keep on growing what we do. And that's that. If there's some new joints, send them in and we can get those on if we have the time. You know how it goes with us. We try to make it happen, but sometimes it gets crazy and whatnot. Real for real. Happy Black History Month. It is still Black History Month. It's crazy because everybody's sort of down with this Trump stuff. Actually, some Black people are down with the Trump stuff, but it seems like there's this dark cast over a lot of stuff. Listen, man, don't allow this to change your mood about nothing. Celebrate yourself. I don't care what your heritage is. You celebrate yourself, man, and celebrate what you believe in and what's important to you. Don't let nobody ever take that away from you. I don't care what they say, what they want to do. Shout to everybody who's still just bigging up themselves and staying positive, man, because it's going to be a little rough, but yo, man, sometimes this is the best thing and you don't even know it.
He's just a distraction. He's like a magician, man. Like he's like when a magician wants you to concentrate on one thing while he's doing another thing with the other hand. That's his objective, is to fool you to thinking that you're seeing something that you're not seeing. And that's what they got the American people doing right now. So don't be falling for that. That's all I can say is, don't fall for it.
I appreciate that word because this too shall pass. That's how I look at it. This too shall pass. Patient, don't move to Thailand yet.
I agree, man. I agree. And if anything, it's a time to reflect and not just reflect, but make moves for yourself.
It's time to get rich. Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. This is time right now to get rich. That's what this is. And you stop thinking about everything else. Stop worrying about all the other BS that we've been worrying about. Stop kowtowing and waiting for some Superman to come and save us. That no party has ever saved us or did anything for us. And I don't need anybody to come and save me. I'm an anti-police person. I believe that police or any type of government is a losing thing. If the police can come and save you, you weren't in danger in the first place. And if you are in danger, the police can't do anything to save you. So all that stuff is out the window for me. I could care less. I want them to leave me the fuck alone. Stay away from me. Don't give me any rules. Don't protect me in any single way, but give me the space to protect myself and do everything for myself that I possibly can. And I think we're going to have a landscape of that for the next 4 years, where it's going to be a clear landscape that whatever rules they got to set for themselves to get rich, those are the same rules that are going to be there for us to get rich. And so that's my order of operations is pray and make money. And government doesn't have anything to do with either one of those. So that's my stance.
So based on that, do you think that the rules are the same? So let's talk about crypto, right? So Trump drops a coin, right? We spoke about this many times, Israel. And the coin goes and balloons into this insane market cap in a matter of hours. I think it's still number 15 on the top 20 crypto list. Now, since then, you've seen a multitude of meme coins be dropped, as well as, other maneuvers. I'll just say maneuvers within the space, right? Do you think that we are now protected because of Trump and his administration's stance on crypto? Or do you think in another 4 years, they'll go right back to suing people and try to put them in jail for having tried to create based on the opportunities that were given by the technology?
In 6 months, so right now we exist in a gray area. The digital assets report won't come out. Their first report won't come out for 6 months. And then that's only a suggestion on what Congress can vote on. That report is only giving us a suggestion. So for 6 months, we exist in a legal gray area, which is a beautiful place because there is no rules currently set, and rules are being set. And so we can state that there were no rules at the time that we did whatever we did. Then beyond that point, the report so far says that the banks have to become crypto friendly, and that all types of rules will be set in place to make America the leading place for crypto, which I think is the best and greatest thing. Like a lot of people, they never even had it, so they don't even understand. They never even been a part of it, so they don't even understand that this is the most important issue in the world. This is the most important issue. 10 years ago, Bitcoin was $1. I was arguing for Bitcoin when it was worth $0. I tried to get the NAACP on, the AME on, the FOI on. If Black people had already accepted this as our currency and began to use it and operate within it, we would have solved every single Black problem that we have. Dang, I just drove through a fucking toll by accident. Whatchamacallit? So we have right now, if we operate within the current confines of society, it's going to take us 230 years to catch up to our white counterparts. Alternately, Bitcoin was $1 14 years ago, and today it's $83,000, even at its down point. But at its top, it was $100,000. That was an opportunity for us. I used to pay my barber in Bitcoin. One day his wife comes to say, he says, my wife said I can't pay rent with Bitcoin. So he stopped accepting it. Each of those haircuts is an $8,000 haircut right now. We could operate our own economy. We complain about the government all the time, but we got white dollars with slave masters on them. We bank in white banks. Your rent is from a white person. Everything and so you sit here and you talk all that nonsense about white people this and white people that, but you don't take any single stance in any effective part of your life to gain independence. And crypto gives you that ability.
Yeah, we don't have the knowledge for that, though. How do you do that, man?
Okay, wait, hold right there, old school. And Funky Skunk has his hand raised. I want to hear what he has to say. Funky Skunk, you got about 30 seconds. Go in. Is he there? Okay, he's on mute. All right.
Hello?
Oh, there he is. Okay. What's happening?
Hey, man. I'm sorry. Hey, salute to the room. I just wanted to interject this. First of all, everything that brother said, for the most part, I definitely believe. But here's the thing with me. I'm 67 years old, okay, right? I was raised to like most of the civil rights stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about going all the way back. I was born in '57, so I seen John Kennedy assassinated, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, you know, the whole 9 yards. I grew up through all of this, right? And I also was a part of the first proceedings of, I've been in music since I was 13. So I seen when hip hop came in and music, the way music has changed, the music business, and going into the theory of music itself, along with jazz and hip hop. The thing that made everything, I'm gonna put it in these type of words, the thing that made everything fresh was that most of the rules wasn't rules no more. They threw them out. And when you think about how the black music started, I'm just talking about from what I know how to do, which is the music culture or culture period. The most interesting things and that make new changes to things that are a lot for the better is when some of them rules that was put on shit just don't just get ignored. And when you come with that self confidence and that creativity that makes a whole different palette. Now, I'm not a Trumpster. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted against Trump. But at the same time, I was in conflict because I really didn't know who to vote for. I just knew who I wanted to try to vote against for all kind of different reasons. But now that this fool has shown me, man, it ain't no more rule. I mean, I'm convicted of 38 felonies and I'm still gonna be president. And he said that shit. And he did it. So that means all the rules is out. So he's like hip hop, man. So we gotta be hip hop. And we got to start protecting ourselves, just like that brother just said. Like, leave me alone. I'm sitting here in my studio right now. I done started learning everything about AI technology and everything about the technology so I can take that to my advantage so I can get, look, who made establish that you got to have a piece of paper with a president on there that was a slave owner, and that's how you gonna base how you gonna eat and how you gonna buy your food. This cryptocurrency, that's hip hop, man. And go up, you can make your own money. Actually, it don't even have to be money. It's all on a card now. You can call it Digiwaxx dollars. Just like Sam Walton came up with Walmart. And like Walmart done took over everybody's shit. All the grocery stores is like done running for the hills. And now the automotives in store, he putting everything. Come on, man. That brother's on to something, man. I just want to say that I raised my hand. I don't really come on here and talk because I'm just brand new to the scene and everything, but I had to say something, man. You said some shit, bro. Real talk, man. And I wholeheartedly believe that I ain't for Trump, I'm for me. And I don't mean it like that, like for me, like selfishly. I'm for my people being for some real independence. Right. Let me put it like it. They came over here and freestyled and put some paperwork together and called it the Declaration of Independence and took over the whole shit and then made us do what they say to do.
No.
Yeah, we still got that slave mentality. So how do we get out of this slave mentality? The mass black person doesn't think like, you know, I'm forward thinker too. I kind of agree with exactly what you're saying too. But I mean, is there a plan to get us in that?
Teach our kids the new way of how to protect themselves and how to know and not have the truth hidden from them about how these fools really are and about how corrupt this shit is, and then have the intelligence to know how to maneuver in it. You got to know how to manipulate the rules. That's what Donald Trump is doing.
Well, let's pause there. Let's play a record. We're gonna come back. This is an early
right on. Thanks for letting me share.
As you should. This is an open forum. As long as we don't disrespect or do anything crazy, I feel like everybody should have a conversation or speak their mind. We try to enlighten. We're trying to build. So that's just how we get down.
I've been learning stuff on here, man. You taught me about them turntables. I ain't gonna go back into that conversation, but that was deep. But we had a call where you said the turntable was back in Jamaica back in the 30s and 40s. I did the research on that, man. I learned some shit on. I'll be learning stuff on here.
Hey, it's all good. All right, let's play a joint. We're gonna come back. New Music Wednesdays. It's going down. Check out this new joint. All right, no doubt. New J. Cole song's called Clouds. A little deep, you know what I mean? Shout out to Kendrick, because I feel like since he came out, there has been a little bit more balance in terms of the music that's getting played, or the mainstream accepting a little bit more of the mainstream. So shout out to my man DJ Commissioner building. Said he likes that joint. Shout out to DJ Head Rush, fire emoji, old school.
Nah, we've been playing that stuff on here, man.
Fire emoji.
It ain't because of Kendrick. I mean, we've been playing.
Oh no, I'm not saying that it's us. I think we do a good job in terms of just trying to find what's good. I'm saying that overall, it seems that there's a little bit more consciousness coming out of hip hop, where people seem a little bit more fed up with like.
Still not on the radio.
Nah, not yet, but I feel like it's happening slowly but surely. Radio's not the trendsetters that it once was.
It's TikTok. It's TikTok. Let me be real with you. I DJ on TikTok. Yeah, TikTok's trend setting right now.
Talk about it, Dad. Okay, and that's my point. That's my point. Okay, and then right at there, David just sent a new Hip Hop DX interview where Freddie Gibbs has dissed J. Cole. So here we go again. Shout out to hip hop. It is never just an easy day. That being said, back to the conversation that we were having about, how to actually take advantage of this stuff. I know that's what you were asking, I think, old school. I think, it is a knowledge thing, right? So when we come on this call, or when you go in certain rooms, whether it's Clubhouse or X, you're in those rooms and people are discussing, it's somewhat first having a conversation, and then B, learning about crypto, and understanding, like, not just crypto, just understanding where things are, period, and seeing how that can all, sort of work together to create something new. Because it's the truth is, you're right, Israel. You could take any coin, but if we all agree to use it, it ain't no different than how Bitcoin started, to be completely honest, man. It is, if we agree to use it and stick to it and give it that quote unquote value, then it becomes actually valuable. What happens is that everybody's, this rug society, or this rug culture, where people have been putting out coins and then looking for this quick profit and then pulling away from it. That's people making a decision.
Yes. People are making a decision. You want to chase? Okay, I'm gonna use your greed. I'm a white person. I'm a person I've been dealing with greed and conniving stuff my whole entire life. And now I'm gonna manipulate you into chasing and doing something exactly like me and thinking like me. That's a choice. And black people make them choices. They bought Trump at the top. They don't even like Trump. They saw it running, they bought Trump at the top, and they got dumped on by them. Meanwhile, I got the play. So talking about the plan, I got plans on plans. Right now, I just landed in Denver. I'm in Denver. There's the mountains over there. I just landed in Denver. I just left the NAACP Image Awards. I went to the Grammys. I went to All-Star Weekend. I've got a token out. The token, when I dropped it, it pumped to 630,000. You know what I mean? But I'm building an ecosystem to drop a bunch of tokens. One of them is what I've been talking to CL, and I would have probably dropped the Digiwaxx token already, months ago. Me and CL, we've been going back and forth about timing and planning and this and that. And for me, the execution, if a person tries to understand how a car works before they drive, or tries to understand how a refrigerator works before they put their steak in there, then a lot of things ain't gonna happen. So knowledge and wisdom. So knowledge is to know the ledge. That's the extent to what you know. You can only extend that by action, which is the wise do. And then you understand. A lot of people seek to understand things and trying to figure things out, but you don't even understand the current economy. You don't even know how a dollar works. You don't even know how a social security number is a bank account. And the dollar is backed by all land and labor of the United States in perpetuity until the debt is paid. And that's already, so you're already locked into something that's figment of your imagination, backed up by your land and your labor. So that's, I'm trying I got the plan. I got the ability to execute on the plan. I got the resources to come behind the plan. The hardest thing for me is the community thing. I'm a builder and I'm a person, I'm a dolo. And I was gang banging and everything like that. I would go on missions by myself. I ain't never expected nobody to do shit for me, because every time I ever depended on anybody else, so I don't have the brain for lots of these people. They build communities through mass manipulation, or they take in time like CL and put a lot of time into working with people over 20 years and putting the community together and all of that. And so that's the one thing, that's the one missing component. But that's where the DJs come in, and that's where the other people that have fans and everything come in, and we can build communities. And I'm building a whole system and infrastructure behind that. And everybody is going to be by June. I'll have 2 enterprises that are $1 million plus, and by the end of the year we'll be probably about past $10 million. What I have to have in this time and age for me was what I call a Noah's Ark mentality. I cannot spend time convincing somebody of anything because it delays me from getting money. I remember one day I was telling my family about Bitcoin when it was worth 0. Everybody thought I was crazy. Then one day I'm sitting here talking to my cousin, talking to him about Bitcoin. It's about 2015, 2016. And he says to me, if Bitcoin is all that, then why aren't you rich already? And I said, because I'm standing here talking to you. And that was a moment in which my life changed. I don't got it. I don't got it in me. I don't got the bandwidth to sit here and convince people something that was worth 0 is now worth 83,000. And you still not convinced? You still trying to figure it out? Well, I'm sorry for you. I apologize that that's your stance on the thing. But I hope that once you get it in your hand, you can figure it out. Because that's the thing is, if dollar cost average in, if you buy $10 worth of Bitcoin a week, you'll see over a 3-year period, dang, I should have put more money into this. Or, you know what I mean? But that's how I see it.
Well, hold there. DJ Dab, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, thank you for letting me chime in. Israel, man, you're a man after my own heart. Entrepreneur, technologist. You've been ahead of the curve. I'm kind of the same. I'm an inventor / technologist all my life. And what I've been seeing is there's a need for a musical economy. A lot of people have tried to build it, right? And said, well, if we could just exchange music as the currency, that's the solution. So, coming at it from an angle where, there's an invention out there that could definitely be able to take music to that next level, where we can actually create a centralized music economy, where everything you do with music, every time it's played, not just from SoundScan detecting it, or I'm talking about these other third-party companies, I'm talking about a blockchain entity that can actually monetize you in real time, no matter where you're played, be it just straight from my computer or whatever. But I'm kind of like preemptively like seeding the moment, because I do have that technology and I want to have some people to build with about that. But it's really based on, if music is an economy, then you can have everybody fed who builds the music, from the publisher to the DJ, to the producer, to the writers, in a better way, where it's like we all share from that pie, right? From that sound creation that just gets played on TikTok and they're getting pennies on the dollar. You got, what is it? I don't forget that name, SoundCloud or no, Spotify. I don't even use that, but you get paid pennies on the dollar. My 333.
Like building our own ASCAP almost.
Right, but in a way where it's innovated enough where you have to kind of see. I'm a programmer, okay, and you have to kind of see there's some logic right here that is just right on a thin layer. It doesn't have to be something complicated, but it's right there on the thin layer you can insert. Okay, and I'm just dropping some keywords so you know where I'm coming from, Israel. But I definitely know what you're talking about, brother.
Well, let's land there. That's what's up. Now we're getting somewhere. Talking about some solutions, because that's my beef. Love talking about problems. Very rarely do we really talk about solutions. And that's what I believe this technology is. Great to know that you're a programmer, because that is actually the part of creating a balance, understanding computer science, understanding how to use this technology to create solutions is part of the real key as well. All right, let's play another song. We're gonna come back. Pretty good conversation so far. I like it, man. You know, shout out to everybody in the room. Let's play this. Check this out. We'll be right back. Yeah, new music. Shout out to Quavo. That's his joint. It's called Trapper Rapper. So you already know. Should be up on Digiwaxx. It's new joint. He talked a lot of shit on it. A lot of talk. You know what I mean? Okay, you ready to dab? I ain't mad at you. Let's go. Depends on which one we talking about. You know what I mean? California might got something to say about that. Real quick, this is a real quick new music recap. A lot of albums did drop. A lot of records came out, obviously. Shout out to Smith & Wesson. The album did come out last week. It's called Infinity. Dope album. Check it out if you haven't had a chance. Also, Dave East and Ransom dropped the album called The Final Call. That is now out as well. St. John festival season. Shout out to St. John. He jumped up on the call. That was awesome. And we had a really good conversation with him and got really introduced to him. Like, he's actually a really talented artist. Probably one of the sleepers is the festival season EP that he just dropped. Nardo Wick has a new album called Wick. And Moray, who sort of came and left but now came back, has a new album called Long Story Short. And there are a couple more records, but you know, those are some of the new drops. Shout out to Stove God Cooks, West Side Gun. They also have a project that is out. Forgot the name of it, but look out for that as well. And if anybody that I missed, please let me know. Yes, big hit. Snoop Dogg working on a new song. That's what's up. Yeah, and again, I don't know if I missed any, but you know, this is our new music share. So if there's something that I missed, feel free to bring it up. Yeah, so we would have missed
DJ Mannyface, DJ Willie Banks just dropped the whole project. Come on with it.
Let's talk about that. Say that one more time.
DJ Mannyfaces and DJ Willie Bangs and the Fleet DJ just dropped a project called Nap York City. Everywhere.
Yes. Shout out to Manny Faces. That's family, of course. We're gonna be interviewing Manny Faces next week, which will be sort of weird because it's like, you know, it's Manny Faces. But we gotta push the project and we're gonna talk. Manny was like, yo, can I get an interview? Oh, what are you talking about, B? You know, you fam. It's nothing. So he'll be on next week, which he's on now. So this is hilarious, man. Manny, you want to say something real quick? Okay, he might be in the middle of the mix, so it's all good.
By the way, I wanted to say that Larry June 2 Chainz, I finally got around to it. Yeah, that shit is fucking jamming, dog. Shout out to Alchemist for providing some thumps, some drums. But yeah, that shit is fire. That shit is fire.
2 Chainz is a way more talented MC than we know because of the beat selection. I'll say that. I mean,
yes. He's cool. I think the combination of it all is good. I'm not like, I've heard him over shit. I just think the combination of it, I wish they would have had just a group name because I'm tired of everybody just like this person, it like, but that shit really surprised me. I'll say that. Like, I was in here last weekend, like, shit, this shit is really knocking. So yeah, I gotta get in props, man.
All right, well, shout out to them. That's what's up. Back to what we were sort of touching base on in terms of solutions. You know, shout out to Dab. He was talking about the project that he's working on. And there have been some dope Web3 projects out here that people have been trying to put together, but none of them have really, you know, I'll say none of them have really hit the mark properly. You know, if that's the right way to say it. Nobody's really got it correct. But I am a fan of direct to fan. I am a fan of people being able to own and track their own content and also be able to get payments direct. Now, I know that third parties will have to help them, but, you know, everything from I mean, there's a lot of royalties that get collected on a song, in different ways. Digital, you have your performance, public rights performance royalties. You have MLC, which has the mechanicals. You have all these different platforms that sort of do it for you. And what ends up happening is A, artists are educated. B, artists are lazy, so they go to other people to do the work for them, and then they end up getting robbed or whatever the case is. And then C is the issue with the metadata, right? So the information that's put into the track when they're uploaded isn't always tight. People misspell the artist, somebody else claims the money. Happens all the time, and even worse. So it's about, number one, talking about it. Two, introducing some dope solutions. Shout out to Mims. We were at a stellar Lumen event the other day, which was amazing, man. And they were just showing different concepts of ways people are using their technology to enhance things, man. I found out about a tax loophole as a result of it with the new company that they got. There was one obviously that's doing, it was a fashion week, so there was a fashion company that's using NFT tags and NFTs to create, special versions of clothing that they really own, and it was a lot more. So get down with some of this technology stuff and get into it, man. And if you need links, I'll start throwing some of them in here and whatnot. Shout out to my man DJ Baby G holding down for Fleet. He's in here. And
yeah. Did you see that link that I sent? Most Def, Yasin Bey. I'll put it in here again. He just had they had an interview on Hip Hop DX, or not an interview, but they were talking about the next release, the one with Alchemist, and what he plans on doing. So, what one of the things they were saying was they will have like lanterns on merchandise, maybe possibly even on Bandcamp, to where if you run into them, I guess they call them bump tags, you get access to what they're doing and the music itself. Now, I think this is innovative, but I feel like if this came from someone bigger than Most Def, there's not going to be complaints. But with him, much like that Black Star shit, it's going to be complaints. But this is another way to try and get money to the artist directly without having to circumvent these streaming apps. So I put the link again in Hip Hop DX. You can read over it. He's calling it the lo-fi high-tech release. This is something that Moses is going to do. He's going to do that. He doesn't care about, people's convenience, which I'm all for. It's about trying to get money back in these artists' hands. So that's something to look at as well.
Well, it's definitely been, it's part of like a bundle, you know what I mean? Because nowadays the music, might as well say the music is free. So artists that do music is free. So you got to kind of put something with it to kind of make somewhat of the sale of the music. And when I say free, it's like we all know here that they getting pennies for the music. So, I've been trying to see, I brought on some points about certain people, the artists ain't in tune of what's going on. They're kind of being left behind, or some are being lazy. And even us be speaking to different people throughout the week, and we find out the same thing, that certain people just not doing their due diligence about what's going on. And as the world's moving and it's surpassing them, and then artists complain about this, that, and the third. Now they can't complain and blame major labels no more, because it's definitely independence now. So if you're not doing the homework, you're not doing the study, you're not doing the research, then you will get left behind. And just having your music on these third parties or whatever platforms is not enough. You got to get out there. You have to basically sell yourself, in a sense. You have to get out there. You have to mix it up with the people. You have to get your consumer base numbers up, with these people, get online. And I know some people are not very well tech savvy, or, maybe hire somebody or get somebody to help you do some of that work. It's a lot of work. It's a heavy workload, but you got to be, if you want to be in this game, you have to stay aware and stop being an introvert and want to sit on your couch in front of the computer and think you can sell records and do your records there, and you really ain't got the following. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know most of us on here, we always enlighten ourselves with new game as far as technology goes and new things. I love being up on here, you know, for those that have been on or met each other on Clubhouse, you know, when that was going on, a lot of people have learned a lot. I would say I have definitely learned a whole bunch by just sitting in them rooms and learning of what's going on in the world. So it's, you know, if, you know, DJs are, you know, y'all can spread the word, but don't break your neck in trying to help some of these artists if they don't want to help themselves. They don't want to help themselves. Just like I agree with you, Israel. I heard what you said about, you know what I'm saying, you try to put people on, but if they not really, you know, don't waste your time and energy. You got to keep it pushing. And that's definitely where I'm at with it too.
Deep stuff. DJ Commish said, it's crazy how the value of music has completely fell off. It's deep. That's deep, man.
But it's also
Brad,
at the same time as the value. At the same time as the value of music has completely fallen off, the amount of money that musicians is making continues to go up. They're getting it, so that that's the problem. The wrong thing, the wrong framework. So yeah, music has changed. We're not making money off of CDs no more, and that's never going to come back. You're not going to start selling music because we've got generations now that have been able to access music for free and things like that. And these DSPs are not going to change their model as fast as they can. But what we can change, and that's why the labels started signing 360 deals, is because the money isn't to be made off the music. The money is to be made off the merchandise, off the personas, off licensing deals, sync deals, and things like that. And we can and find them and artists are making a bunch of money off of that. So there's more money in music than ever, but just not selling music. And I don't think that's ever going to come back.
Yeah, I think that it's more money in music for certain artists. I think the artist pool is not as, you know, there's more money being made for mainstream artists that are already broken and big or somewhat big, but the independence is really taking it hard, and it's been sort of crushing them unless you can catch fire or catch a wave. Big Red.
Yeah, I agree with you, CL. Same thing with Israel and Swerve. Like as far as the industry goes, you know, when we look at how people was making money when being signed to labels, and which we all know those are loans. Now artists don't have to worry about getting loans. If they can, you know, if you moving and making money on your own, what do I need to sign a contract for? And then, like you said, Swerve was saying, like a lot of artists are, you know, not putting in the work and then wondering why they're not getting results. And they got to put that work in to get the results. And if you ain't putting in work, you're not going to get anything. Like you said, you can't sit in front of the computer and just watch numbers go up and go down. If you're not going out, you know, going to these concerts, going to meet other people, going to like other events that they have out for us, you know, summits and stuff like that, you got to show people what you're worth and what you can do. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of labels, if the labels see that you got a lot of clicks, a lot of likes, a big following, they're gonna try to tap into you like, hey, we need to sign that guy. You know what I'm saying? And once those artists sign those 360 deals, you know, that's where a lot of some artists lose if they don't know what type of 360 deal they're signing. You know what I mean? So I can say that you know, I agree with y'all wholeheartedly. Y'all actually hit it on the nail. And I just had this conversation, and that's what I'm going to school for now. I just jumped right back in school. I'm in full sale for audio production and engineering, so I can get the basics of the knowledge of, you know, the new, in which they got us using AI now. So they're teaching us how to use AI as a tool as far as when it comes to the music business, because that's going to help most artists capitalize in today's music game.
Can I piggyback on that real quick?
Go ahead, Dad.
Sure thing.
Thank you. I mean, I'm an AI specialist at this moment. I kind of got certified over the past 2 years. AI can be your whole record label now. You can create your marketing department, you can create your distribution department, you can create your outreach department, and you can even create your operations department, because everybody needs operations, right? So in essence, all we really need to do is start thinking about how do we create an education system where the artist can tap into a I would call it a bootstrap camp and get that AI bootstrap where basically, you know, some of the tools are already developed and they're just grabbing these toolkits. They just put them in their computer, on their phone or whatever, and boom, they can run themselves. You know what I mean? So AI is, I called it my girlfriend 3 years ago. All my friends laughed at me. I was like, nah, I'm sleeping with AI. But I wasn't joking. I was like literally going to dive into this thing and make sure that I understood how far you can take it. You know, because again, you know, even ChatGPT right now, I'll tell you guys, it's being limited. I've been pushing its edge to see what it can do, and they've been kind of like censoring it. Go to DeepSeek if you really want a very powerful AI. That's my little tip for the day.
Oh boy, we opening up a can of worms today. Good ones though. Shout out to that, because that's a bomb drop. Shout out to Darren in the building. Who's also an AI specialist and advocate, and he put me onto another platform called Bordy, which is also another AI that's more communicative. It talks to you as well. But shout out to DeepSeek, and I'm gonna say that DeepSeek actually helped. I use DeepSeek now regularly. I've stopped using ChatGPT as much, and I've moved over to DeepSeek almost immediately. And the reason why, number one, it's free. It's free. Now, if you want to use some of their tools, there is a cost there, but it's way cheaper than what ChatGPT is doing. But it's just a better tool. It's giving you more. And what I like about it is that it shows you its thought process to get to your answer. Where I don't know if ChatGPT, I never saw that from ChatGPT. Maybe I've heard there's a mode to do that, but the fact that it actually explains how it's getting to the answer for you is deep, because you can modify it at different points now, and you can get more to what you want, and you can see its thought process, which is crazy. But using AI to manage a company, a label, a business, this is the future, man. This is where we at. This is, and it's good to me, you know, because you have to get things done. You know what I mean? We can't just sit here and just be talking. And a lot of time we want to work with our friends and other people that, you know, we cool with. But yo, man, if the job is getting done, then the job is getting done. And that's what needs to happen. So good jewel there. Let's play a joint real quick. We're gonna come back in. Let's check this joint out.
I'm pretty sure it's Texzilla. Let me talk my shit, let me do my thing, let me roll your boat, go on lose control, friends I turn the foe, yeah I'm eye day low, tipping on day toes, but like that you know, let me talk my shit, let me do my thing, let me roll your boat, go on lose control, friends I turn the foe, yeah I'm eye day low, tipping on day toes, but like that you know, what arena should we shut down first, pretty like Selena, see no makeup here, thigh eye boots with my eyebrow skirt, I might lash it up, they so cute they stare, strut and stay walking on the runway, ayy, face car straight, ain't no decline here. Ice on me stack, getting pretty out here. And yeah, I'm set, Gembi's by the premiere. Got other shit to rattle, but I'm with the title. Depending on the sickness for the lives and survival. Many poppers spread like cancer, calling themselves master, self-made hard work. This the full caption, it's 8 and it's late, go on. When we up with you and those stupid doors. Where the lead girls at, come on, stand up. Where the real ones at, of course we know. Let me talk shit, let me do my thing, let me roll your boat, go on lose control. Friends that turn the foe, yeah I'm eye day low, tipping on day toes, but like that you know. Let me talk shit, let me do my thing, let me roll your boat, go on lose control. Friends that turn the foe, yeah I'm eye day low, tipping on day toes, but like that you know. Oh, till it when it's down, which one is next? See me doing good, now I know I did just a vex. Journal line now, come on, let me sign on your vest. It's GMB, baby, short and steady, you know the rest. And when I'm begging, you know, eat the best. That's 6 fucking ill, really let me rest on his chest. I mean, on sight, here to spill and confess that I'm the realest that he ever met. On the rule, I gotta shut it ring, gotta be really unbelieving, praying that they stumble on me. Yes, and bubbly the back, Coachella on it. Teach that, ballerina, I'm pointing to the hottest bitch in the car. Only winner I send a title go to I'm just Mike Tyson, send a blow to get her a job before I sound one to let me tell my shit, answer to no one, I'm bother y'all. Let me talk shit, let me do my thing, let me roll your boat, go on lose control. Friends, I turn the phone. Yeah, I'm I day low. Tipping on day toes. I like that, you know. Let me talk this shit. Let me do my thing. Let me roll your boat. Go on, lose control. Friends, I turn the phone. Yeah, I'm I day low. Tipping on day toes. I like that, you know. Let me talk shit. Let me do my thing. Let me roll your boat. Go on, lose control. Friends, I turn the phone. Yeah, I'm I day low. Tipping on day toes. I like that, you know. Let me talk shit. Let me do my thing. Let me roll your boat. Go on, lose control. Friends, I turn the phone. Yeah, I'm I day low. Tipping on day toes. I like that, you know.
New music. Quantum.
What's the deal, man? That was some music I just got this past week. Somebody sent that over. The artist is J&B. Name of the track is called TMS Talk My Shit. I figured I'd throw it in here, see what y'all thought about it. It had kind of a up-tempo vibe to it, man. Figured y'all could get with that.
Yeah, I liked it. It was different for sure. I liked it. A lot of people confused about who it was, so thanks for clearing that up. Is there a dirty version?
Yeah, I mean they sent that. I can send over the email, but yeah, it's a dirty version. I understand I don't do my edits like that. It's too much I hate when people do reverses and edits. Just drop the track. But that's just me. But yeah, outside of that, I thought the shit was fly. You will hear that on the show this week coming up on Quantum Leap Radio. So
yeah, all right, let's break into new music. That's what's up. New artist. Artist is called
J&B.
TMS Talk My Shit. Fire. Okay, dope stuff. Couple of things here. Just checking out some of this music news. A lot happening out here. But one report, which is a decent report, Sound Exchange payouts edge up towards an additional 5% in 2024. So Sound Exchange paid out $1.05 billion for U.S. To U.S. artists for their digital recordings last year. So overall, it's over 12 billion. And again, if there's the right solution, it makes it easier for you to get your money as an artist. So if you're not registered with SoundCloud and you are an artist or you have, you're working with the artist, make sure you got that. Make sure you got that set up. It's your royalties. These things come for as long as things are popping and moving. Get a check, get some money into your bank account. It definitely helps. The other story I saw was I guess YouTube is now going to be putting out the Leaving Neverland. So basically the story about Michael Jackson with these kids or these dudes or whatever. I think it's some BS. Oh yeah, my bad. It's Sound Exchange. My bad. It is Sound Exchange. Not SoundCloud. Yeah, but these people pushing these stories on Michael Jackson and all this nonsense. Well, apparently this joint's coming out on HBO. On YouTube because HBO declined to put it out because of legal pressure. And let's be honest, man. What are we doing here? This. I saw something on social media where we're just talking about how just Black artist legacies, man. It's almost like something where they have to try to destroy it at the certain peak. And Michael Jackson's been dead, passed away. We all love his music, but that's just not good enough. It's like they got to bury his legacy, which I hate. So just putting some information out there for everybody to sort of touch on to or whatever the case is. Anyway, New Music Wednesdays. I will let's see, man. Anybody got anything new? Feel free to send it. And yeah, let's play something else. Check this joint out right here. Boy, song is called Update. And I think that's from a new project. I think he's been dropping these new singles, these joints here and there. But yeah, shout out to Burna Boy. See you getting some love in the chat. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Yeah, that motherfucker go hard. I ain't gonna lie to you, Tia.
Yeah. DJ Endzone, what's happening?
Hey everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day. Good to see y'all again. It's been a while. I've been missing the Zooms because I've been busy, but it's good to be back. I'm feeling how you pronounce her name? Doshi. That's how you pronounce it, right? Want to make sure I'm saying it right. Okay. But I'm liking her songs. I heard some of it on TikTok. She's really doing her thing out there. And I have seen recently people are saying that she's trying to copy Nicki Minaj's style. I don't think she is, because she did say that Nicki Minaj inspired her, and it seemed like anytime a new female artist come out, people are so quick to compare her to Nicki Minaj, saying, "Oh, you trying to be Nicki Minaj? You can't be like Nicki Minaj." I'm like, I don't really think these females are trying to be her. You could be inspired by somebody, but being her, I don't see that at all. I think she's far from trying to be Nicki Minaj.
That's funny because I really don't get that from her like that. I don't get that. And I'll tell you, I thought the Grammy performance, it separated her from that, if there was ever that comparison to me. I feel like she really just,
I think she's out of here. She's somewhere else now.
yeah, man.
Somewhere else. Like there's nobody that's comparing to her right now. No one.
I agree with that, because I can even go to her Tiny Desk performance. The Tiny Desk performance was amazing. If you ain't seen it, go check it out.
Yeah, that Tiny Desk was crazy. That, again, she separates herself from everybody else. She's totally different, not even the same lane as the rest of the pack.
Yeah, man. She's fire, man. Brittany.
Back on Doechii, even before like all of her mainstream success, like, you know, her sample of What It Is, Ho. Can't think of the name right now, but like she has a voice on her too, vocally. She sings. So like, yes, she's a rapper and she's crazy talented, you know, being only the third female rap artist of all time to win a Grammy in that category. And just lyrically, I think you can't compare her to what she's doing right now. But I just wanted to also just include her vocal skills, because she is also a singer, which I think gives her an edge, whereas other artists, they're not so much of a vocalist. You know, the only person I can think that can do both really well has been Lauryn Hill. So she's up there, definitely.
Yeah, dope. Leak Tav said she's just animated. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but Raymond T.
Who said that? Wait, who said that?
No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. People was like, she's trying to be like Nicki Minaj.
Wait. Who said that? You gotta show your face. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on.
He wasn't saying a bad thing.
We see Leak before. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, she's animated, meaning like Nicki Minaj. How Nicki Minaj is animated in most of her videos and stuff. That's how dope she is. Not like she's a bad, you know.
Oh, okay. I just needed some clarification.
You was about to jump me.
I get a bad reputation on this call, and I just want to set the record straight. Okay, I'm not a bully. I'm not anything like that. I just want some clarification. So thank you.
I'm gonna honestly say I disagree with the whole Nicki and her. Like, when I first seen her, heard her, I did not even get that. So that comparison to me is out the window. I just feel that she's in her own lane. You know, she's her own artist. I liked her out the gate. When Nicki first came out, was like on the fence. You know, she had me here and there. She was a little bit over dramatic with some of the things what Nicki did first time out the gate with Doechii. I was like, oh, okay, all right. You know, I seen her vocal range as far as a vocalist, like Brittany said, and then her rapping ability. And I just feel she just gets a little bit in there, but she's not over the top. So that whole comparison for me, let's get that out. She's in her own lane. She's doing her own thing, and she will be a big success. She probably be the next biggest thing for TDE besides, you know, Kendrick and SZA. She's definitely about to be the next biggest thing out of here for TDE. And I think they see that and they know that, and they're going to do everything in their power to make sure she gets up there. She about to be the first biggest rapper for TDE as far as female wise coming out of TDE.
And also she hits multiple audiences. It's not just like Black, African American, like she hits the white people, the Mexicans, all of them. Like that's how good she is.
Dope.
Yeah, I was just gonna give just to follow what Swerve was saying, gotta give TDE that credit. We talk a lot about artist development. They have groomed her. She signed with TDE in 2021. So this has all been a process. So to see like what's happening, like just gotta give them their flowers, man. They roster of, I mean, they're responsible for Kendrick, they're responsible for SZA, they're responsible for Schoolboy Q, they're responsible for like a grip. So I just want to make sure, Punch and Musa get their shine. And it's bigger than just West Coast, because keep in mind, Doechie's from Florida, yo. You know what I mean? So it's not like they just, shopping in Cali. They're looking for great artists and they develop them, you know what I'm saying? So I did want to ask, what your thoughts on the, because I saw in the chat, people felt some type of way about the song. A lot of people saying they passed on it. But it's a good look because the K-pop invasion is getting so big. So that artist, Jenny, she's huge in the K-pop side. We saw Megan Thee Stallion do the same thing. Megan Thee Stallion, I actually just read, is going to be doing an 8-part, like basically The Voice, but for K-pop. She's executively producing and judging to find like the next K-pop star. So do we feel any type of way about like K-pop invasion? You know what I mean? Diving into the urban sound, hip hop, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or it's just a natural evolution of how this is all coming together.
I mean, everybody copies us anyway, so it don't matter.
I got beef.
But are we biting their wave though? But are we biting their wave? That's my question.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, they always recycled everything in K-pop.
Well, I feel like with K-pop, we've all been to the the Korean chicken wing spot or something. They're playing the videos and they look very much like Black videos, but it's Korean people. I don't have a problem. I think it's an honor to us, but I also think that it has to be said. I think the problem we have is like people don't give us our props. They just run with the culture and they never look back and say, you know what? Like shout out to Bruno Mars when he sat back when he got those awards at the Grammys and he stood up and said, I used to rock with BBD and New Edition and all of that. That's the type of honoring that I feel like that's all people really want. You know what I mean? And I see you, Puba. I know you there. I want to ask you a question in a second for sure. But that's just how I think about it. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
CL. Baby G. What's up, y'all?
What up, baby?
Being ex-Army, being stationed in Korea back in the 80s, they did recycle. They recycled so much. They recycled so much of the funk, blues, jazz, R&B, and soul. And the culture of that country, they're not ones to give credit and praises. They just take what they want and go. So some of them may, as the integration, because a lot of Korean women married soldiers. So as the culture started to gel and blend, we may see more of that going on. But as far as Koreans as a whole, being over there for a year in the culture, in the country, while in the military, they don't rock like that. So for y'all that saying they did. You can find every song that you've been wanting and hoping for on a cassette or vinyl or a CD over there at Ajima. All the old music that you're looking for that you lost in your music collections, they got it.
So,
that's
honest truth. All right, well, listen, we got our first guest in the house. I see him hanging out with the spaceship looking vehicle. Legend. I don't really have to say much. Again, shout out to the 914. Put mad people on. Pioneer, and a guy that we coming from Greenburgh, New York, White Plains, New York. This is legend. So without any further ado, Puba, welcome to New Music Wednesdays and whatnot. I see you there. All right, we do have one thing. We need you to turn your camera, if you can, turn it to the side. That way we get the full, we do this right. Damn, it ain't working. You might got the screen locked or something. All right, forget about it. We'll just go back to the other thing because now you like on the side or whatever the case is. And you muted too, but it's all good. Bingo, there you go. And then you on mute.
Okay, we should be sturdy right now.
Yeah, we are sturdy, man. What's happening, man? Welcome to New Music Wednesdays.
All right, that's what's up.
Yeah, man. Definitely honored to have you on, man. Hey, what do you think about Dolce and some of her accomplishments over there? You a fan, or what's your thoughts?
I don't really vibe to that. I'm kind of stuck in my ways. I'm an old school R&B soul guy. Like, but I don't really. If I hear a good song, I hear a good song. Like, basically, I'm not judgmental on whatever. If I like the record, I like the record. I don't really go deep into it like that. You know what I mean? But the visuals and all that, I think that was, I don't know who I seen with just a thong on performing. I'm like, it's a little crazy to me. But like I said, if I hear something I like it. But the images and all that kind of bothers me. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's real. That's real. So
you know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I always taught like not to really go way into it, like, but our energy could be negative as anything else, and it's still acceptable. Like, and I just feel like, is that all we, worth? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or energy always got to be those cold currents and those negative ways, like, and I think that's what's dictated right now. Like, chicks is, I mean, come on. When I was little, to see some nigga chick, I had to go in my pop's closet, lift up 2 boxes, move 3 coats out the way just to get a Playboy magazine. You know what I mean? Now it's just like, you feel what I'm saying? Our children are exposed to things that we weren't exposed to, and they kept away from us. You know what I mean? Now it's just natural. And now we think it's just okay to just be looking at these images, and for our seeds to just see these images that are being glorified, man. I think, it is what it is, man. But I'm gonna do my part to strive to change that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel as an elder, as someone who knows better, you know what I mean? That's my responsibility and my duty, even though mainstream wants to promote that on our people. So, not to really drift off, but when I think of new music and all that, I think of how we're being portrayed right now as people. I mean,
what do you think brings balance back to that, though?
You think
I hear what you're saying, but how, where does the balance start for you?
Just knowing, like, if you know, as an individual, as a person, when you see somebody just twerking, shaking their ass, and you're supposed to be this, that, and the third, but it's more concentrated on something else, like your anatomy or negative aspect. I mean, we kind of, we're all given logical sense. We all know right from left, up and down, right from wrong. You know what I mean? So to constantly just allow that to exist in our nation is, we gotta hold people responsible, I guess. You know what I mean? We gotta hold, because if it was another race being exploited like that, that shit would stop tomorrow. You know that for a fact. You can't even say certain things about a certain nationality without you losing billions of dollars, if you feel what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But yeah, we can just and whatever, it don't matter. We could kill each other. We could, I mean, it's just, we got to take back responsibility. Now music is not even really worth nothing. The streaming, you ain't making no money. We got to take back what was ours. We created this game. We did it out of love, and we did it out of betterment for our people. We did it for a positive reason. Rap was started. You know what I mean? And they said, I guess, even back with the 70s with the soul music and all that, you know what I mean? Everything you could tell the frequency back then was the right frequency because every song was about a love song. Love this, love that, love this, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Love on a two-way street. I love now. They said if they, it's a people if they can make music to make them love themselves, they make music to make them kill themselves. You know what I mean? And that's where we at right now. Negative, 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 no positive. You know what I mean? It's positive that people are eating, but at what cost and what expense are we eating? You know what I mean? And that's it. And I'm not no angry, disgruntled, mad rapper type dude. Just say, if you go to my first album, I've been saying this since I came in the game. You know what I mean? I've foreseen all of this, and now we're here. So basically, I mean, we just need to take it upon ourselves. We can't, like a lot of people say, well, you got to teach that at home. You got to, but you know as well as I know. My mother worked. Once she got up in the morning at 7 o'clock, I was on my own. You know what I mean? It was up to me to get up and go to school or do whatever, or you know what I'm saying? So having a parent there and having two parents there is great, but nothing's more enticing than once you walk outside. You know what I mean? Especially like me, I grew up in the project, so you're gonna see every, you know what I mean? It's up to you to make that, that right path and walk that right path and try to live by what your parents instilled in you. And so right now, I don't want to blame radio, but for instance, I'll take me as an example. If I had to play all that foul shit or whatever, niggas killing each other, this, that, and the third, I wouldn't take the job. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about money to me. Right? There's more things that are important than money. You know what I mean? The love of the game that we love the game got us to the bag. Like I got to the bag. I'm fortunate enough. My family's right. My kids is good. But I could have had more if I would have went down different paths. But not my nature. So we got to come together as a people and recognize what the real problem is, and then fix it. Let's go back to who we are. Let's go back to Rosewood. Remember, we had our own cities, our town. We was making our own money, the whole nine shebang bang and all that. You know what I mean? Why are we like letting them dictate how we live? Like, why do we let them take this drama we created and make all the money and throw us pennies, and then want you to be under their beck and call and obey them in order for you to eat over something that you created? Feel me?
Yeah.
But never mind. What's happening? I'll go all day, so let's you know what I mean?
Oh, this is good. Yo, Puba, this is good, man. This is what people want to hear. They want to know, because I'm really going to take you back, because I really want to know, where did your sense of enlightenment come from? What was that point in your life that made you, where did that, because you're right, through all of the projects that we've gotten from you, there was enlightenment in there, it was knowledge in there, it was awakening. But just like everybody else in New York or all over this place, all over the country, all over the world, you get a sense of that has to somewhat be born within you. Where did that happen for you? How did that come?
Well, it came from being young, having uncles in the struggle. And when I say struggle, like different political black movements, whether it be BLA, New African People's Organization, Panthers, coming up in that. And I grew up in the Harley houses in New Rochelle. I bounced back and forth from Harlem. I was originally from the Bronx, but my mother went into labor in New Rochelle. So I was born in New Rochelle, but we were living in the Bronx. But my foundation was definitely Harley houses, New Rochelle, New York, where we learned Black history a lot. I got to give my uncle a shout out, Ahmed Oba, family, rest in peace, and my aunt Fulani, and other people around the neighborhood. That was around the 70s when I was a kid, where Black Power was the movement. I mean, you still had the fiends and all that, dope fiends and the hustlers and the pimps and everything else. Remember, at that time, it was a divide of the two. So being that my family, was in the struggle, we used to march, go to Malcolm X gravesite on his birthday, Harlem Day Parade, we marching, and we just was taught on Saturday, like in one of the basements in the building, where you taught your Black history. You taught who you were and everything to that nature. So that started at a young age, for my teens, and that gave me the balance. Like, cause I'm still a nigga from the projects, and still stuff outside you see, but I still have that with me. That's why if you notice when I do albums, it's a balance. Like, I'm definitely a fly dude. I looked at the fly niggas who put me up on swag and game and fits and all that. That came elementary school, you know. And also I had the conscious side. So when you listen to my music, it has that flyness and it has the consciousness. It's the balance. You know what I mean? That's my balance in life. Like, you know what I mean? But knowledge always comes first. So I always like wake up like certain songs. I have to make those records. You know what I mean? Because I gave an oath to my family and the organization when it was time to sit down and have a meeting that I will join the organization, but I do music. I'll do it through my music of the struggle. You know what I mean? I gave my word on that. You know what I mean? And that's why I always have to play the spook who's out by the door, so to speak. You know what I mean? Pass some flash. Oh, that's so, yo, that nigga swag, boom, boom, boom. But then underneath come that, yo, you know what I mean? That consciousness to say, oh shit, but yo, he be dropping some size though. You know, but he talking about skins and all that, you know. So you got to balance because there has to be an attraction, like a magnetic to pull the people in. You know what I mean? And that was my magnetic, just being a young fly dude from the hood, movies, whatever, but had knowledge of stuff. So that's basically it.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. And I want everybody to know, you know, so that's why I'm asking these questions about that. So obviously you took a break, you know, seems like from a lot of it all. Even though I see you around New York and you know you're still moving and grooving. But what's up with the new project? What's that about and why now?
The new project is the retirement project. Why now? Because, like I said, I started in the game. I was rhyming before it was on wax. I was a b-boy. I learned from Sundance, who introduced Jazzy J to Disco King Mario. I go back to the beginning. I was like one of the firstborns, but a young one. You know what I mean? So I've been doing parties in my hood. I've been bringing my equipment. I used to DJ. I used to b-boy. I used to rap and all that. But I was that dude in my hood. So I've been doing this since like 12, 13 years old. You know what I mean? Now I'm like really to the point where it's a lot of information out there, a lot of songs, a lot of messages in my music where you can go back and listen to. But I felt that this was a good time to just say I retire and I'm moving on to something different. But I want to take my fans and people through the journey that I went through 3 volumes, EPs, like, you know what I mean? So we're on the first volume right now where I'm about to let that go. And it's going to be a second volume. And then by the end of summer will be the last one, you know what I mean? And then I'm just moving on to some other things that I'm doing and pretty good, living good. I don't really have to, I don't do it and I never did it for money. Like if I feel something, I'm not gonna make a record just because I need some bread. And that was never my style. Like I don't care if it's 5 years, 10 years, you know what I mean? I know how to get it back, you know what I'm saying? So that sometimes we get forced into having to do, like, yo, try to make a record, try to make some money, gotta do shows, gotta, you know what I mean? That's not, I'm kind of put my eggs in different baskets. So that I wasn't worried about. More importantly, I'm worried about the condition of my people and the mental state we in right now. That's the most important thing. I mean, I'll always eat. I can always eat. You know what I mean? So this is the retirement package. I said that. I started it a few months ago, and then was crazy. Once I said, yo, I'm retiring, I'm just tired. I don't even feel like mad over things started like almost like the energy from the universe was like, okay, here's your rewards now. This mad thing started just happening, positive, good energy to secure my retiredness, so to speak. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing and it's time, and I guess the earth and the universe and the dimensions is telling me, like, yo, you right on time. This is, you know, what you need to do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That's what's up. I mean, you deserve it. I don't know, you know, because I feel like you always going You know, you might get the urge to bust a rhyme somewhere else down the line, but I can respect it. I'll say that. I respect it. I think you've earned that. Because if you had to put numbers on it, technically, what year did you start? You know, how many years has it been? You know,
It started
Mhm.
apartment 6 project style at government chief for a while. Pop Duke wasn't there because he had to do with bed, so mama she stuck with these badass kids. So I say it started, like I said, when rap started, that's damn near when I started. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm right on, like, let's say Grandmaster Caz and all the legends, the icons, the firstborns, the ones who created this genre. I was their student. You know what I mean? I had the Cold Crush tapes, the Funky 4+1 tapes, I had all that cassette. My man was the little brother of the nigga twins. My man used to get me the joints from Harlem World and all that. So basically, that's when I picked up the mic. Like I said, I was a b-boy. I used to break dance and all that. So basically, at the beginning, you know what I mean? That's a long time ago. Like, actually, when I was done with rapping and DJing and all that shit, that's when I got offered a proposal to do a record. And I was like, I was done in the hood with that shit, and that came along. So I see how life works. Like now, like I said, I'm retiring. There's some other things just coming along, and I've been doing this for a long time, bro. You know, and it's not. I'm not rhyming. I always let it rhyme, but I just, I did it long enough. That's it. You know.
Well, salute to you for that, man. I want to get into this record, Odyssey, you know, and sort of give everybody a little bit of that. Anything you want to say about it before we play it?
No, just basically one of them things, you know, like to start with knowledge first, the foundation, and just letting and explaining to people where we are right now, and explaining where we come from, and just say peace. You know, got the young guard, my co-pilot.
I see you. I see you. Word. All right. So
move on to the, you know what I mean, next level. And the Odyssey is basically what I've been through and what we've been through as a people and shit, you know, where we need to go as a people, you know?
Well, let's get into it. We're gonna come back, take we got questions. Shout out to everybody who's in the building. Let's check this out. This is Grand Puba, the legend, and this is a song called Odyssey. Bars. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Love y'all. You already know how we do. Shoot, man. Lot of love. Kanique Smith said, run this. Meet the Tylers had all types of emojis in there. All love. DJ Cristal, fire emojis. Rich Don, yes, I feel this. Gary Archer, pure pressure. Who else, man? I saw Quantum Leap, Funk Flex, Shoulder Tap. He's talking about get me the clean so he could play it. DJ Dab. That's a crazy looking emoji right there. I don't know. It's the dragon face. Court Digger said, nice. Gary Archer said, I need this for my show today. This on the site. Unoriginal Fiend said, math production, knowledge to fertility with the emojis, old school. I mean, everybody's on, man. This is right in pocket. Tavani, take them shoes off, love it, grounding. Raymond T, classic Poobah. I mean, it's just love in the chat, man. It's all love. This is the balance is coming back.
Yeah, there has to be a balance or we're gonna crash out. You know what I mean? And I think that the time, even if you do the science, if you do the knowledge on how hip hop, where it came and went, you seen them trying to bust it down. And this is no disrespect to nobody on this planet. I mean, it did originate in New York. With what I seen, maybe I want to say the late 90s and 2000s, it kind of shifted because New York rappers, or let's say East Coast rappers or East region rappers, try to elevate it. You know what I mean? Like all the niggas coming out with that sharpness, and then they made it not about that. So they kind of simplified it. So you have a bunch of MCs that want to take the game to the next level. You know what I mean? And then finally the game dumbs down, so now they stuck in orbit. Like, like, yo, come on, I'm trying to be the nicest nigga ever. That's what it was based upon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that criteria went away. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, and I think that was by design, of course. Because right now, if we haven't been elevating the game how it should have been, we'd be fucking rhyming in telepathy. Like, we don't even got to open our mouths. We'd be dealing with each other through the mind. You know what I mean? But they break us down and take away our capability to be great, the great gods and goddesses that we are. And that's all done by design. We are linked into this planet. We are, the originals. Like, we have certain things in our DNA and in our genetic makeup that coincide with the earth and the sun and the moon. Like, you know what I mean? But if you don't know that, and your brain is only programmed and targeted for negative energy, which we don't have. It's just not happen. There's no elevation. So now's the time, like, I think, you know what I mean? Now is definitely the time, man, for us to arise, man. Like, that shit hurts. Like, I see how we crash out as a people. Like, come on, it's 2025, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we looking like we went back to the, you know what I mean, caveman ages where we didn't even come out of caves and shit. We taking on their genetic makeup, man. You know what I mean? So it's time for us to rise, man. And I say that out of love because I love my people. I was born to do this. Like, I was born to save babies, teach babies, and make things better in the world. Not for just me, but for everybody else. Because if I'm just doing good by myself, that's selfishness. You know what I mean? We ain't free. I ain't free until we all are free. You know what I mean? So I can say, how you doing, my brother? You good? I'm good. You know what I mean? Everybody's good. You know what I mean? Just me being good, sitting somewhere in seclusion, talking about I'm good. That's not how I was taught or how I was raised. So, salute to everybody, you know what I mean? Who's striving to do better and do good and waking up, and, that's why I'm here, bro.
That's real. We're gonna go to Quantum Leap, aka Grandfather Clock Radio, and then after that we're gonna go to DJ Dab. But Quantum, feel free to talk to the great Grand Puba.
Peace, Puba. What's going on, man? Quantum Leap Radio. On the new album, who's featured on the records that you're gonna be putting out for this retirement phase?
It's 8 songs. It's going to be 3 variants. So, 3 times 8, that's how many. So the first one has 8 songs on it. And on the first one, I have my son, which his name's Stunner Gang. He worked with Static Selector. He did a lot of ghostwriting for a lot of people. He's fire, next level. I got him. I got a singer named Digiwaxx. That's ridiculous once you hear it, because I always, like I said, I came up on R&B. I didn't come up on hip-hop. So whatever my pops was playing, that's kind of was my drama. So her name is Digiwaxx, R&B singer. She fire, or just a singer. I don't want to classify her. And then I have my brother, who I started with, dope song, Kool Keith from Ultramagnetic.
Okay.
It's out of this world, like, that y'all don't see when y'all hear the album. And I picked those who I liked and I admired and who I go back with. You know what I mean? I got records with Greg Nice. But those are on the other volumes. I don't do too many features on, since it's only 8 songs. So as the volume come out, there's going to be different features on different projects. But this one is Kool Keith, my son, and Digiwaxx, and I'm excited to listen to that.
Will you be Will you be having on the future releases? Will we get Brand New back together, or are any of those releases?
Yeah, I got Lord Jamal's definitely on the next one. Then I got Lord Finesse. I got all my peoples that I rock with are gonna be, this is just volume 1. This is pretty much like my foundation and how I started and everything like that, and then it goes on. And as we get to the last one, I don't know who all is going to be on it yet, but I got some ideas of few cats right now.
Okay, and y'all are good. Like Brand Nubian is like as the three, y'all are good, right?
We we all out here doing our thing. We all good, definitely.
I know Lord Jamal's been in the mix a lot. He's been in the mix a lot, but
that's Lord Jamal. And when I tell people, that don't take away the fact he's one of the most smartest brothers I know. Sometimes I tell him, and we're working on that, he gets a little obnoxious and gets to be an asshole sometimes on how he responds to certain things. But we talked about that, and I told him, like, yo, bro, they love you. You just got to calm that bullshit down. He understands and he knows, you know what I mean? Like, he rubbed people the wrong way, and I told him that's the parts you got to, work with and figure out and get right. And, he's definitely on that path, like, you know what I'm saying? He understands, like, some of us have our little pitfalls, and I'm not gonna be a real brother if I don't say, like, yo, bro, you bugging, this is what, you know what I mean? So he'll get it together, you know what I mean? But all in all, the reason why I chose him to begin with is because with the beginning of Brand Nubian, like everybody say, he's the weakest. Nah, he's one of the strongest, one of the smartest people in the game. His style of rhyming was for educational purpose. That's him. When you put him in that lane and drain, nobody can really, dispute his information and shit, So it's a little, love hella right going on, but it's gonna get right because that's at the end of the hell.
Yeah, well, now hopefully y'all good with Sadat as well, man. Shout out to him. I know he just did the track with he was on Diamond D's latest record as well, man. So it'll be good to see y'all, man. As a unit. Peace to you. But that track was fire though. Please get the DJ pack over. Some of us are still on FM, not just doing podcasts. So please let me get a clean of that. Appreciate it.
Definitely will. Appreciate that, my brother.
TJ Dab, go ahead.
Hey, peace, God. Grand Puba. Yo, God. Building in New York. I've only been in New York for about 6 months or so, having moved from Cali. But, I come from some of the originators, having learned underneath their belt. And that track you just dropped, man, it took me back to the whole cipher from 0 to 9, And it's funny that, the last question kind of touched on a lot of things I was going to ask about Lord Jamar and stuff. But really what you said that sparked my brain in later talking was you said something about DJ Mario. You go back that far, and DJ Mario being one of the originators. I'm working with a young lady named Queen Anita. You might know her, you might not, but she's definitely looking to do some celebrations for him. And I'd love to maybe build some kind of network between you and I, or you and your management, where we're going to be doing a summer event to honor DJ Mario. And I think some of that knowledge you guys are dropping would definitely be needed at that type of event. You feel me?
Oh yeah, but DJ Faze. I don't know if you know DJ Faze. He goes back to the Mario days. I think he was a baby spade back then. He got all the information and all of that, and he actually DJs for me and Lord Jamal at shows and certain events. So we definitely linked in and shit. Like I said, the brother Sundance, he's a big part in the beginning stages. Like I said, that's who taught me how to b-boy and break dance. In the 70s as a little kid. And he was one of the first b-boy. He was just one of the first of everything. Like he was around everybody from Mario to Herb to, like I said, John. He's just that dude, you know what I mean? And I had the pleasure of coming up, with him, under him, you know what I mean? So, like I said, all of us was there, and we're going to continue to let knowledge be born, you know what I mean? And if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. So we definitely got to renew the history and let people know what it is and give the youth that energy and inspiration and inspire them to be great, because they don't even know how great they are. You know what I mean? It's up to us to let them know so they can go to a next, And
it's all about keeping them names in their ears. They don't know about our DJ Marios. When you said that, it just really it sent me thinking, wow, this is some of the education that's still missing in hip hop. Is who were the other progenitors that aren't mentioned in the documentaries and things of that nature. You know what I mean?
Mix of DXT. That's the first time I seen scratching, and I'm gonna tell you, he was doing stuff back then in the late '70s where like that transforming and all of that. He was doing that way when dudes was zuga zuga zuga. He was already, like and the crazy part about all of that, he ended up being the one winning the Grammy for scratching or Herbie Hancock's. What's your name? You know what I mean?
He called it turntablism. He named it turntablism for him. Correct. Yeah.
Brothers like that who don't get mentioned, and I'm telling you, that's where I learned the game from. As far as the DJ aspect, the break beats and all of that. Man, Mix of DST and his partner Rob the Goat. The Affinity Squad he had. Man, that's how I got in the game. You know what I mean? And we all knew each other. Me, Sundance, we used to break dance against each other. And DXT was a b-boy too. It's just a lot of history that I think the youth needs to know, especially our civilization and all the great inventions that we invented in America and who we are, so you can stand on your square knowing and confident. You know what I mean? Instead of us just going out backwards, man. That's peace.
All right, dope stuff. We're gonna go to DJ K Max.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up, Fuba?
Peace. What's good with you?
What's up, man? It's been years, man, since Across the Board Day with LRG, me, Woody, Happy. We used to, yeah.
What's up? Peace, man. How you?
Good, man. Good to see you. Sad I missed the track, but I'm real excited about the DJ pack as well because I'm still on FM radio and would love to play the joint. I can play clean and dirty. So yeah. So when is the album, the first album coming out?
I'm looking. The first volume is coming out. I'm trying to make it towards the end of March. I'm just trying to clear a couple of main samples because I don't, it's going to be a lot of energy and so once I get that done, which I'm in the process of now, I can release the whole thing. But I got some songs that don't need clearance, so that's why I'm giving you certain joints like this one right here that he just played. I'm not worried about the sample. Do you got the other record, Sam? Because I don't know if you have.
I don't think I have the other record now.
We about to play another joint. So
yeah, that I got to get clear, but you can play it, brother. That's it. For instance, that's the one with me and my son. That's more of a party. Like I said, the balance. But it still has a little message in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know that you came up with R&B. That explains, the Devil Laws very special, and a lot of the singing on your solo joints. That's pretty cool. I came up with R&B too. My father. Hello?
Yeah, no, I came a little bit further than that, like the Al Greens, my pops, whatever my pops and them was. See, that's what I'm saying. When I was a kid, whatever my mother or my father was listening to, that's what the kids was listening to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Outside Jackson 5, them had a couple of little kid groups, but back then it was straight stylistics, Al Green. I think before James Brown got funky, you know what I mean? I got albums of James Brown with organ. We was an organ player. And my pops had mad different. So I came up, that was it for me, And then the Parliament came and this later on and, so on and so forth. And it evolved, it kept evolving, But yeah, and then hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cool. That's pretty much most people in our age group of the journey.
Yep.
For the most part. Yeah. Good stuff. So if you ever come back to Chicago, man, yeah, just let me know.
Oh yeah, definitely. One of my favorite.
Resume your little business when what we should have done was lock
No, why is this?
in exchange to get you from
Oh, I think yeah. So yo, real quick, I'm gonna pull up you gotta pull up Big Phil. He wanted to say something real quick. So go ahead, Phil.
You hear me?
Yeah.
No.
Damn.
I'm gonna say it like this, and CL, you and I, we go way back and stuff, but with Puba, he and I go back to like Masters of Ceremony days, and one thing I'm gonna say is that he's never changed, like I've been with him where he could have, I guess if you want to call it selling out, I don't even want to call it that, but he could have taken crazy money, you know what I'm saying, just to change his approach and his attack. And when I say attack, I don't mean like an attack, but the way he handles the rap game, the things that he speak about, the pro-blackness, the upliftment and stuff like that. And all he had to do was stop that, stop calling the white man the devil, stop trying to say positive things, and we could have been out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you straight up and down, like, me and him argue about a lot of stuff. We go back and forth all the time. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I will say that he really truly lives for blackness, for the black people. You know what I'm saying? Like on some real shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I know a lot of these rappers. I've seen major rappers stop him and give him and pay him homage and want to do songs with him. Major people that all he had to do was get a beat from this person or go get the and you're like, nah, I ain't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, come on, son. Yo, man. He's like, nah, I ain't go. Even today, I was talking to him about what you said, CL, right? And he's like, yeah, I could do that. But, I'm not going to mention nobody's name, but he'd rather stick with what he's doing. And if it's going to be somebody from that era, he's not going to go backwards to try to move forward. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm giving him that credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like all the stuff that he talks about, like it's all about, and I'm telling you, like, even right now, it's hard to tell somebody, don't take that bag, right? All you got to do is pick it up and we good, man. Pick it up and we good, But he's not on it like that. So, for all the DJs that's on this call, I love you all because I've come from that era of DJs, but we have to know that it's all about the DJ. The DJ is the one that's gonna set the trend. If we're gonna grab back what was taken from us or what we gave up, really, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna come down to you guys. And I'm not trying to sell you on Grand Puba or on this song. I'm trying to sell you on the mentality of where we coming from. I ain't saying like the Sexy Reds and the Glorillas. We need that too. But there's also, like Puba keep talking about, that balance. What about the other side of the rap game? You know what I'm saying? What about that side? I don't know how many billions of dollars rap is right now, but yet and still, a guy will come out the projects, make money, and then end up getting shot in the street or going to jail for carrying a gun. Like, what's the sense if you're gonna get money and then still do the same foolishness? You know what I mean? So I just want to give him his flowers, and you'll never get it again from me, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's all I wanted to say, man. Like, he don't just do it to do it. Like, this is how he lived for real, for real. Even when we went to California before Tupac died, I saw Tupac. He didn't say this, but their family as well, and I seen Tupac talk to him, and he dropped knowledge on Tupac in a certain way that I seen it resonate after, we left each other. You know what I'm saying? I seen certain things in the way Tupac carried himself and stuff. So, it's on us right now, man, to to bring it back to where it belongs. So that's all I wanted to say, man.
No, it's all love. It's all love. I want to play. It Ain't No Big Thing with Stunner Gang on it. And then I want to come back. I know Quantum, I know he got some more questions, and I'm sure some other people do as well. But let's play this record. Let's come back. We got Grand Puba in the building. You already know it's a legendary Wednesday as normal. Check this joint out, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. And shout out to everybody in the chat. You know how we do it. All right, we back. Yeah, you already know. New joint, Puba. You know, it's been blessing so far. That song's called It Ain't No Big Thing, featuring Stunner Gang. Coming from the new project that'll be coming out, I guess, in a month or two. And yeah, that's just what it is. Puba, you want to say something?
No, that's what it is. Basically, that's just 2 pieces of the 8-piece. You know what I mean? You still got 6 more pieces left to deal with. But those 2, basically, that's, like I said, that's my son. You know, he been in the game, ghostwriting and doing this thing. Did a project with Static Select. He's outside. He's like me, take it or leave it. Only gonna say something when he got something to say. But he's dope. He got an old soul with a new energy, and he's just like, to me. And not just because it's my son, but the bars and punchlines. He got some work. So that was just a balance record, one of them balance records to offset the first one, the Odyssey joint. I could have, I got the way it's designed. It's like an Odyssey record. It ain't no big thing record. It goes like that through the whole joint, like, definitely joints that make you move, get on the floor, just have fun, or joints that make you think, or that's how my whole career been, just a balance. That's it. You know what I mean? The energy is dope. I like the vibe. That music is just plain old sampled, sound like disco, you know what I mean? But it's that energy that makes you feel good. If you walk into a party and that's playing, you're gonna move in 2-stepping, you know what I mean? You're not gonna be just stiff, like, you know what I mean? And that's that frequency and that vibe I was talking about. So that's basically it, bro.
All right, that's what's up. Can't wait to hear the whole thing. Quantum, go ahead.
Yeah, man, I had another question, but in this conversation, I'm coming up with other things that I'm forgetting about. And with Puba, what you talking about R&B, I think it's maybe forgotten on this call or not realized, like, you're one of the main reasons why we got to hear Mary J. Blige. Like, how does that like in 2025, do people recognize that? Like, is that something that, like, do you have a rapport with Mary J. Blige? Like, talk about that for a second, man.
Yeah, well, basically, I mean, that's a long, long story that, it'd be too long to go into. But like I said, that was just something I did. They came to me, like, yo, want to do a joint, because I used to rock with Diddy before all the craziness. And actually, I had a female artist I was producing at one time who was super duper dope. At the same time, Mary was doing her project. I played it for everybody. Leo Cohen, everybody loved her. You know what I mean? And Leo told me some crazy stuff like, yo, I love her, bring her on the meter. This, that, and the 3. And got down there, and he's like, you're going to have a problem with her. I'm like, you just said you love her. What are you talking about? The lady said to me, said, yo, she too dark skinned. You're going to have a trouble signing her because she too dark. I never forgot that shit. You know what I mean? And that was back in the early 90s. But anyway, moving to the Mary scenario, Mary was dope. I'm going to tell you like this. I never, we did a joint on my album and a joint on her album. But the way she worked, I'm not taking nothing from her. What she did at that time, like, the industry or fans didn't know what was going on. So she was having, believe it or not, trouble when she came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, she would do shows and niggas be looking at her like what the fuck is this shit? Because she had a DJ and dancers, and back then, no R&B people were singing with a DJ, and that was unheard of, like over beats, like. So the reception wasn't going over well. So what I had to do, like I don't know how she got on so many of my shows. I had 360 or something out at the time, and we would be on the same bill, and I would come out. You know, she'd do her thing, and then at the end, booty doo boom boom boom, and I think that certified her. Like, oh, this nigga co-signed her. I mean, from Howard Homecoming all the way down the line, like, you know what I mean? So at the beginning, there wasn't no well reception to that style of music. She paid her dues, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you like this once again, she was dope. I wrote a song. We got songs that didn't even come out. Just playing around in the studio. I do a beat like, yo, sing something on this, and she'll sing a Donny Hathaway. Someday we'll all be free off a fast hip hop. Yo, I mean, she had it. Like, she was dope. Like, she was the perfect female artist because it was low maintenance. You ain't got to tell her much. You just got to put her on the right path, and she's fought. So I enjoyed that because, like I said, if you notice, most of my songs from back then have very melodic. You know what I mean? Because I like singing in my shit. I like, you know what I mean? I try to incorporate the two. You know? So that's
Man,
what
you bring me down a rabbit hole now, man, because now, even with you saying that, a little of this on 2000, at the time, I didn't realize who that was on there. And that was Kid from Kid and Play. But how did y'all link? Like that at that time, that was like two different worlds. Brand Nubian, Grand Puba, Kid and Play. How did that even happen?
I'm gonna tell you how that happened. Because that Kid and Play world was his world, but that nigga was he was the real dude. Like, that's the funny. I'm trying to remember how we linked. Like, we used to. It was a three-piece. It was me, Kid and Play, and my man Oakley from the Knicks. That was we three used to hang out together and shit. And I'm talking about we'd be anywhere, tunnel, wherever. Like, this dude wasn't like you see him as a Hollywood pop star act, but I'm telling you, he's one of the realest dudes, especially at that time that I met. We used to just hang, you know. And like I said, Oakley used to be with us, me, Charles Oakley, Kid. And then you meet other people along the way, like Dave Chappelle. You know, I knew Dave with Men in Tights, like, and we hanging out at some open mic joint for singers. Intermission come, he's like, yo, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna tell some jokes. I was like, nigga, tell jokes. Like, I didn't know he was a comedian. Like, you know what I mean? I knew the movie, The Men in Black. I mean, not The Men in Black, the Men in Tights. The Men in Tights joint. But I didn't know he was a comedian. You know, nigga went up there and tore that shit down. I'm like, you know, so the journey, like, a lot of people that you think might be like, oh, that nigga's corny, sellout, cornball, be some of the realest dudes, like, you know what I mean? But just it was given a blessed opportunity. You know what I mean? So that's how that came about.
Just real quick, did the girl that you tried to put on, did she ever come out with anything later on? Was she ever able to get on?
She started working with some other people, and then unfortunately, not too long ago, she just passed away. You know, she never got to blow up. She would, and Mary was like, yo, she's dope. You know what I mean? You can ask Q-Tip. Pete Rock did songs for her. This is how fire she was, bro. You know what I mean? Never came out.
Yeah, that complexion issue is a problem, man. I've spoken about that on here. A lot of people don't realize it still goes on, just because of the success of a lot of music. It's hidden, but that complexion issue still goes on, man, and it has been happening, man. But appreciate that, man. I really went down. I forgot about all of that as we were talking. I kind of thought about the Mary J thing, man. That's good to know, though.
Yeah, Mary was dope. Mary is dope. She, like I said, she got it. You know what I mean? She's dope, man. You know, as you could tell, you know, she's definitely official sister. All the other politics, you know, with all that other shit, like I said, no tickets bathhouse for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know about all that other shit, but that's one thing I do know. Like, he was dope, and like I said, coming up in that era, like it was that music wasn't even really. That shit was like almost like when hip hop first started. Like that's the kind of treatment that Mary was getting. Like like what is this shit? Chicks singing over beats and she thought that shit out and she made that shit work. So I always salute her and say hats off to Mary. You know what I mean? Because she's the pioneer of that shit. And ain't nobody do that before her. And the only person I could say was when Kid Capri mixed the Stephanie Mills joint underneath the what's her name shit. Something in the way you make me feel. It was being done by DJs, but nobody never made records like that. I mean,
talk about classic moments right there. That's what's up. All right, we're gonna go with David Lopez and do your thing, David.
Yeah, peace, Grand Puba. I just wanted to say you're one of the first artists I remember listening to and buying the cassette. I bought 360 Degrees back in like 93, 94, and it was just impactful. I remember going to school and dudes was wearing the gear you talked about. Like the first time I heard Jabot, the clothing line, was because of Puba. And then Tommy Hilfiger, I feel like you was wearing Tommy Hilfiger before Wu-Tang. And then everybody in elementary school that was into hip hop, we was buying the gear based on the music. And I was just wondering, did they ever throw you any gear or did you ever have any endorsements with any of those brands in the early 90s? Because you kind of shaped the culture. You had an impact on people buying the stuff. So just a question that I was curious about.
Oh, that's a good question. And the answer to that is, well, let me go back to the beginning. Like I said, growing up in the hood, you learn how to be fly. Like, and I came up in an era of Pro Kids, British Walkers, Playboy, Swedish Smith, all that. You know what I mean? So I knew what it took. When you wanted to be the flyest out of everybody, you would then move on to something that you had to have something that nobody got. That's how Tommy Hilfiger came into play. Like, nobody ever heard of Tommy Hilfiger. I got lucky and caught a sweatshirt one time from a booster from my cousin. And it was a Tommy Hilfiger sweatshirt, had the little crescent on the shirt, the stripes on the wrist and the waist. And I'm like, yo, this shit is fire. Let me go try to find this. So I was going to Macy's and all of that, and I found like a couple of button-ups, which I had on in the Real and Real album cover, and I'm like, all right, this shit is fly. So I started just like when I was doing my songs, I know nobody had that shit. Nobody never even heard of it. So I'm like, Jabot's hanging baggy, Hilfiger on the top. Niggas kind of knew about Jabot's, but Hilfiger, I knew nobody knew about that. So one day I'm flying back into the country and I'm at the baggage claim, and guy walks up to me like, hey, Grand Puba. I'm like, yeah. Like, hey, how you doing? My name is Andy Hilfiger. This is my brother Tommy Hilfiger. Yo, we like this, da-da-da-da-da. Yo, hey, let's get together. Like, come down to the office and, let's meet. Let's do it. Blah, 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 blah. So we did all of that, did the press and all of that. And I'll tell you like this, don't listen to what these niggas out here be saying. Tommy was the realest dude. Gave me all the clothes I needed, whatever I needed, going to the warehouse. My man, Tony Tone from the Coke Quest will tell you, when I was living in the Lambert houses, he lived in Lambert houses with me. I had Tommy Hilfiger driving 600 Benzes to the project, giving out free clothes and the whole nine. Like, you know what I mean? All the way up until this day, I still work with him. Matter of fact, we're about to do the 40th anniversary for the Hilfiger this year at the September Fashion Week. It's going to be ridiculous because we're going all the way out. But I'm to this day, I still get a bag from Tommy. Tommy always been there. He ain't, or whoever started that rumor, like, he don't sell his clothes to black people. He don't like black. It was a lie because when I went to the office and I first met him, half the staff was black. My point person was a lady named Nitsi, black girl. She lived uptown. Mad cool to this day, still there, whatever. Tommy ain't show nothing but love and still do to this day. So the reason why I got big on the Tommy, because nobody never heard of it. Everybody, artists that you see wearing that is because I wore it and I made it cool to wear that shit. So that's basically the story on Tommy. That's the only thing I'm claiming. I was always a low kid, always stayed fresh. you know, but I you know, my claim to fame is the Hill figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's 100% accurate, straight up. Because New York City, we was emulating the music videos. We wanted to dress like the rappers. So the first time I heard Jabot and Hilfiger, and then we started seeing it in school. So you did so much for that brand. So I'm glad you feel that he's appreciating you because you put us on. So thank you, Puba.
I appreciate you, my brother.
Well, listen. I know there's other questions and all that, but I know you got to run. I do want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for sharing the music because it's one thing to just hear records. It's another thing to really understand who you are behind the music, and you not wavering on who you are and your messaging. That stuff is it's great to see that you are who you are, man. I think a lot of people, you're right, man. They will jump for a check. They will do this and that, but the fact that you stand 10 toes down in what you believe in, and you do it for us, you do it for the culture, it speaks volumes, man. And I want to say thank you for that because it makes me and everybody else for sure want to support the music even more, because you could have went the other way a long time ago, and we would have been just one less soldier. So just want to say that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for that, for stepping up and coming up and sharing this. And I hope you come back because I did. I wanted to talk about the whole history of hip hop. I know Jamal has this whole thing, but I don't want to get into that now. I know that's going to be a deeper conversation, but I know you're Jamaican, and I know that back then people didn't even know who people really were because you had people. Go ahead.
I'm Black American. Here's the thing. My mother's father that I never met is from the Virgin Islands, West India, not Jamaican. But you know what I'm saying? On my other side, like let's say if I go somewhere with my mother to her aunties and whatever, it'd be calypso. It'd be. I'm from the project. I don't know nothing but soul. My pops family is from like Columbia, South Carolina. That's where my family's from. But on my mother's side, like I said, her family is from the United States, but her father met my grandmother. I think he was in the army or something like that. She was in Louisiana or whatever. So yeah, so that my mother's father is definitely West Indian, but I didn't grow up under that influence. I grew up as a Black American, As I became a teen, and then I used to go to my grandmother's house. I used to see, so I got up on Bob Marley and the Wailers and all of that stuff was from that side. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, and I think what Jamal is really trying to say, it's not about where you're from. You can be, I guess, Jamaican, Puerto Rican, or wherever your heritage or your roots come from. They're just saying, I'm gonna say for the FBA as a whole, not just Jamal by himself. The culture of hip hop music was started by urban Black kids. That's all. I mean, and urban Black music from the Soul Train to the, Five Alive to before that to you see breakdance. That's all they're saying. I don't think they're not saying that Jamaicans. I guess when they say when Jamaicans didn't have a part in the culture, they're saying like there's no music like Jamaican music that's influencing hip hop, or there's no, let's say, Latino Spanish music that's influenced the hip hop. But there are Spanish people who influence hip hop, basically, like the Charlie Chase and the Ruby D, and those are my first, I guess, Spanish people I see who came into the game of hip hop and was one of my favorite, like shit, whip, shit, y'all. That was one of my favorite MCs, Puerto Rican guy. You know what I mean? And Ruby D. Ruby D is my name, and I'm a Puerto Rican. You might think I'm Black by the way I'm speaking. You see what I'm saying? They definitely contributed to the hip hop. So I'm not on that rah-rah system bar shit. It just is what it is. That's why I don't get into that. You know what I mean?
Nah. And I don't want anyone. We can get into that's a whole nother conversation. Like I said, shout out to him. I told him like it's like a battle with your older brother. It's all love. It's all love. That being said, Puba, thank you, man, for pulling up. And
No problem.
feel free to stay on. We got legendary Rodney Jerkins on, super producer. And everybody who got this, if it's not on Digiwaxx yet, it will be. And let's just support Puba, man. He did a lot and spoke a lot today, man. It was awesome. So thank you for that for sure.
Stuff. You know what I mean? Let's uplift our people, and that's what it's all about to me. I don't care if I get 5 cents off of this. It's not about that, else I wouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? Because listen, that ship done sailed and passed a long time ago. I'm here to still do my duty as a civilized person, to teach civilization and uplift our situation so we can go stronger as a Black nation. Peace. Say peace, Carl. Peace. All right, let me restore right now. I'm hollering, all right?
All right, no doubt. Peace. All right, we're gonna play a record and we're gonna come back. We got legendary Rodney Jerkins in the building. New Music Wednesdays. Check it out. Back, New Music Wednesdays. That was more Ray, man. If y'all ain't know, song's called Mud Baby. Something new, some flavor. You already know. Shout to Puba, came in here, dropped a lot of knowledge, good upliftment. But right into another legend, man. Somebody who I was appreciative to have met. When he was just doing his thing through Corey Rooney, who was one of my mentors coming up in the music business. And obviously he's going on to do so much big stuff I can't even explain. I believe he's over 500 million records sold with all of his records together. And now he has a new venture and he holds it down. Shout out to Jersey, big Jersey in the house. And Rodney Jerkins, man, welcome to New Music Wednesdays, man. How you feeling?
Good, CL. How you been, brother?
I've been good, man. Look at you, man. You're looking good, man. What you doing, yoga?
I wish I was doing yoga.
Doing something, man. What you doing, man?
Man, I'm just trying to eat whatever my wife give me right now. That's all.
Hey, man, shout out to a good woman, man. They will keep you alive, man. They will keep you alive. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. First of all, flowers. Got to give you some flowers, man. You got the Lifetime Achievement, which is being into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, an acknowledgement that not many people have. So congratulations on that. And obviously you've done a lot in your career, man. So, I actually wanted to start at the beginning. Because people know the Brandies, they know all of these records, the Michael Jacksons and everything. But how'd you start, man? And do you remember the first record that you produced, even if it didn't come out? Do you remember the first?
Yeah, of course, man. Like, I remember being in my the crib I grew up in the basement, and before it's funny because you don't really. Nobody pays attention to that, to the grind of it. They only see the success of it, but they don't see like when you in the basement with no equipment and you just trying to make it work, And I remember like the only way I could really get to enter into the industry was through remixes. So that was kind of like our strategy. My dad would like tell the record companies like, hey, give us acapellas and let my son do what he want to do. And I was like, 15 years old at the time, trying to get on. And I had already met like Teddy Riley and different people that kind of took me under their wing, but like remixes was really kind of like my way to get my foot in the door. Because I just don't think the record companies trusted a young teenager with their artists like that. You know what I'm saying? So I would do the remixes and I would do remixes on, different artists. And that kind of just, it definitely built my chops up, right? It built my chops. I think remixes is the best way for anybody to start as a producer, because what it does is it allows you to hear a piece of work, someone else's work, and then you creatively got to figure out how you could take it somewhere else to a different place, right? Whether it be the BPMs and making something. I remember when I was working with Horace Brown. I'll give you a perfect example. You remember Horace Brown, right? He was kind of caught between the Uptown and Motown thing,
Yes.
and he had a song called "Taste Your Love," right? He had a Taste Your Love. If you go to the maxi single back then is what they called it. If you go to the Taste Your Love, you can find this right on YouTube. But I did a remix and I did the ballad version of Taste Your Love, right? Because the original version, I think Dave Hall did it. Either Dave Hall, I think did it. And then I did a ballad version of that, right? So like my imagination was like, yo, how can we go in and turn it into a total different record? And that was kind of just like how I was thinking back then. Like, how can I go and do a remix, and hopefully people will vibe with the remixes that I would do, and then that would get my foot in the door. Like, okay, let's see what else he got now. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Dope. Was that the first remix that sort of caught on, or what was the thing that sort of caught the A&R world?
The first thing I did, I didn't even get credit on. Like, this was crazy. Like, the first thing I did was actually, I was like, I don't even count it like anymore because I didn't get no credit on it. But I was down in Virginia working with Teddy's camp, and I did a song on Let's Go Home and Handle Our Business. It's called Handle Our Business on Tony Thompson.
Dang.
Tony Thompson's first solo album.
Yep. For those who don't know, we're talking about Tony Thompson from High Five.
High Five, yep. I did a song called Handle Our Business. I was so excited to get my first joint off, and then the joint came out. I had no credit, and I was like, "Yo, what just happened?"
Yeah,
but I'm like, "Yo, people that cry about it don't cry. Like, it's part of the process. You got to pay some dues. You got to take some L's. You got to take some punches, and then you just get back up. And if you believe in yourself, you just go do it again, and eventually it'll pay off."
So after like all this success, and I'm sure people, DJ's gonna ask a bunch of questions, but after 500 million plus records sold, what are your thoughts on the new music business? Today's music business?
The business is completely jacked up now. It's just, just the conversation that you and I are having right now. Like, are people getting the calls to do remixes? Think about it.
No.
Like, the only time we really see remixes is in the EDM space. The big dance DJs. The big dance DJs is making hundreds of $millions off of something that we were doing, on the urban side for years. You know what I'm saying? And it don't really exist like that, in my opinion. Like, you don't really see too many remixes like that popping off as the actual single, right? That was the difference too. Like, not only was we doing a remix, but the remix had to be so fire that they ended up going with the remix as the single. You know what I'm saying? And it took the place of the single because it's too hot not to be. You know what I'm saying? So, remember, I don't know if you remember No One Else by Total. Right? No One Else by Total, but my remix with Little Kim, Foxy Brown, and the Brat was the one that they really went with. You know what I'm saying? So I think that art form in our business today is gone to a certain extent. I think A&R in our business is gone. You know what I mean? Like, the A&R today is just really, they clocking numbers. They looking at the streams, and it's almost like, oh, if the person got some movement and they did 50,000 streams in just a couple of days, then we need to go find that artist. Where back in the day, like, you had to go to, it was whatever was popping in the clubs, right? Like, I remember having like an artist that I was trying to break, and I'm like getting in touch with all the DJs. Can you spin these records? Because that's what it was about. Now everybody looking to see, okay, who's doing what streams, and maybe if they got a little movement on TikTok, let's sign them. There's like no real artist showcases no more like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that whole era to me was the era to be a part of, because it was really grassroots. It made you really get to know who the artist is and where they from. And now today it's becoming more of a numbers game. You know what I mean? And just playing, it's like we playing the lottery at this point.
Yeah, man. A lot of people have been speaking about the changes, for sure. And especially like for somebody like yourself, like a true musician, somebody that's working from the heart, believing in things and seeing them through. I know it's a difference, but I gotta say, man, I was shout out to Jen Boogie. because I got a chance to hear some of the stuff you're working on now, and it was very is dope because I don't want to give it away, but it's not just uplifting, but it's just good, you know what I mean? And I feel like we have lost to a degree to social media and attention, which can be it can be very misleading. You know, it can totally take the soul out of things. But what I heard from what you're doing was it's great. You know, brings a balance back. Talk to us about what you're doing today or these days, and also talk about the label, man. Talk about Aliens Alive. You know, what's the name about? Where'd it come from? What's the concept? What's happening?
You know me, like from a teenager, I love to be active. Like that's my whole thing, just stay active. And I always encourage, the people and everyone, all of you DJs, stay active, right? Stay fresh, stay active, surround yourself around fresh, active people as well. And that's kind of been my take. As I get older, I just want to become more active, and I want to know where things are sonically pushing, like what's moving people in a different way now, and every 5 to 10 years things change, but also things come back, right? Because the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So it's like, good and well, everybody right now is trying to tap into like the late 90s right now, early 2000s, right? So it's like funny to me because I look at it like, oh yeah, that was me when I was 18, 20, trying to tap into Kool and the Gang. You know what I mean? Or sampling Roberta Flack for, I Can Love You with Little Kim, so it's all full circle, right? It all just comes around, but then it might be something new and fresh. The 808s might sound different now than it did back then. The kick is this, it might not be about the snare in this season, it might be about the rim shot. It might not be about the rim shot in this season, it might be about the snap. So it's whatever that thing that's moving people, you got to kind of know and you got to tap into it or you be left behind, right? So I'm always thinking like just how to stay fresh and how to stay grind. My real focus is my studio. I have like 10 studio rooms and it's basically a developmental headquarters where I like to develop talent. You know what I mean? I like to find young, fresh talent and kind of mentor them and give them somewhat of the jury, right, that they need to succeed. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what I've been doing. That's what I love to do. And I think like with Aliens Alive was basically another full circle moment, right? Because like I grew up as a pastor's kid. Mom was a choir director, so we was heavy in the church, heavy. I'm talking about like my church, like our family. We went to church 5-6 days out the week. Like that's how much we was in the church. Like I'm for real. Like I'm sleeping in the church. Like that's how it was. And so for me, like when I was about 12, 13 years old, I just got tired of hearing like the traditional stuff that I was hearing in the church. And I was wanting to bring hip hop to the church. So I was hooking up my drum machine inside the church. And I was like doing stuff. I was going up to New York to Brooklyn. My godfather's the late Pastor Roy E. Brown. And my man Stanley Brown was the organist. And I would go up there. And Stanley Brown was working with Salt and Pepper and all these different people. So I would go hang out with him in the studio and I would bring the drum machine to the church. And next thing you know, I started rapping in the church. Like I was like, yo, like why can't I rap in the church? And I would get, it was tough because it's a tough crowd when you're in a traditional church. You feel what I'm saying? But for me now, with Aliens Alive, it's that full circle. It's me looking at like, man, like why is it that we've been so separated by genres? Why is that? Why is it that when we listen to, let's say, hip hop, that it's okay for us to spin or put our focus on a record that's actually derogatory and not uplifting and not bringing people to a different place spiritually? We'll play that, but then when somebody else actually has something real to say, we don't play that. So so coming up, and I'm like, man, like for years I struggle with it. Like, this is a problem. This is a problem. And I remember one time my wife told me, she said, stop complaining about what a problem is and fix the problem. Like the more you talk about it, it means nothing. But the thing is put your effort in trying to fix whatever you see is wrong, right? And my kids inspired this whole Aliens Alive thing that we wanted to do. And it basically was, yo, let's look into artists, faith-based artists that have something to say, but where the music is dope and the music is fresh. Because I don't want to be able to just tell you about something that I think could work. I want you to hear it and be like, oh, that joint side by side can land right next to Kendrick or land right next to Drake or right next to whoever, side by side, right? Sonically, it's in the pocket. And then, you know, we all know that the beats always move the people first. We know that. Like everything, you hear the beat, and then you hear what's going, then you'll start paying attention to what they're saying. So I'm pushing heavy on like, okay, let's make sure our sonics is right, make sure that the joints is banging, and then eventually people gonna hear, but like, yo, did he just say what I thought he said? That's what he talking about. Oh, yo, this is kind of all right. This is kind of fair. Oh, this is cool. Oh yeah, okay, I can listen to this. And I'm gonna be honest, man. Like since we started Aliens Alive, like the traction has been really good. People have been embracing it, and I'm excited to see it, and I'm excited to see where it's going. You know, you don't do it alone. You're only as good as your team is. My team is a great team. You know, Jim Boogie, as you know, she holds it down, and Tracy Waples holds it down. Rebecca holds it down. Beyonce, my whole team, my squad. I got a really good team who not only believe in me, but they believe in the vision, which is most important. So now we just need the support from the people to be like, you know, yo, we get what you're doing, we rock with it, and let's go.
Yeah, and this is why we do what we do, because at the end of the day, we just got to get it exposed. The vibes is there. It's just, you know, there's so much distraction. So that's what we all about. That's what we do here. And with that being said, I do want to get into shout out to John Keith and Miles Minnick.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Club. I want to play it, and then I want to come back and I want to get some energy back from everybody. Shout out to all the DJs and everybody who's in the building. But check this out. This is what we're talking about. Coming right out of the mind of Rodney Jerkins. So check it out, and you already know it's New Music Wednesdays. Coast flavor. Shout out to the West Indies. What does that mean when it comes to this project? Because I like that, but I'm talking about Jamaica.
No, well, it's two separate artists, right? John Keith is a solo artist who was signed to Aliens Alive, and Miles Minnick is an artist from the Bay Area. They both from California. Miles Minnick's from the Bay Area, and they decided they wanted to get together and do a project, and I ended up signing the project. It's called West Indies. So this will be the first project that's coming out with them as a collabo, and so it's too dope to see two young dudes come together from Cali. You know what I mean, and stick to their faith and their belief, and make sure that the music is still banging. You know what I mean, it's still relatable.
Which is why I love it, because they talking God stuff, and they on their higher level, but they still keeping it in pocket, and that's what I was saying about being different and dope at the same time. And shout out to you, shout out to the whole crew. Where's the studio? Is it in LA?
Florida.
It's in Florida.
Yeah, I moved my studio to Florida. Yeah, it wasn't LA, but I moved it.
Nice. How you like that change?
I love it. I love it.
All
Yeah,
right,
let's get a little bit more focused. You know, a few of the artists down here, they're nearby, so it's easy for them to pull up. And so it's definitely been a blessing.
Okay, I love that. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Tracy Waples, aka Trey Wop, in the building. I see her down there. She's over here communicating all up in the mix. So shout out to her. She helped me out a lot when I was working for Mariah back in the day, and you know, she's just a great person. Yeah, man. I don't know if anybody has any questions or anything they want to say, but shout out to the chat, man, because this got a lot of love, man. Raymond T said West Coast bounce for sure. Brittany put fire emojis. Clinique Smith said, yeah, run that too. Bad Barbie, the West Coast hears you. T-Rex, hearing the club vibe on the arrangements is tight. DJ Dab, mad love, y'all ate that up. Tivani, in the club. Baby G, that's gas. It's on and on and on. That being said, we're going to go with Chanique, go ahead. We're going to Rodney Jerkins.
Okay. I had a question because this is something that I noticed. I've recently started listening to Christian hip hop. That's why I recognize Miles Minnick from. So I have a question because I was also listening to the lyrics and knowing that they keeping with their faith while while doing the artistry. Do you plan to work with other Christian hip hop artists? Because there are some really good ones, and like I said, I just came across it from listening to Christian.
So yeah, thank you for your question. So we have 7 artists signed to Aliens Alive already. Miles Minnick, John Keith. We have an artist by the name of Alex Jean, who y'all should check out. He's that next dude coming up, kind of gives you kind of a little bit of Pop Smoke type of tone vibe a little bit. We have another artist by the name of TJ Carroll. We have another artist by the name of who else we got? Aha Gazelle. He's from New Orleans. We got a Latin dude from Miami named Gavi. Then John Keith on the solo side, and I feel like I'm missing one more. I feel like we got one more, and I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, we got several artists signed to the label already, and there's a couple more that I'm actually right now in negotiations with. So hopefully by this summer you'll be hearing about an announcement on a couple more. But yeah, definitely, like there you go. You see,
that makes me happy. I had to cut on the camera to show the smile on my face because it's the way that music is, and I love what I do, and I want to continue to do it. But I want to be happy and proud about the music that I'm playing and what I'm putting out. So that makes me happy to know that you're taking this on and you're having these artists.
Oh, I'm serious about it.
I'm with
like I'm serious. Like I'm so serious that we independent too. So what I mean, I took my own bread out of my pocket and put it into this heavy. And I believe in the artist that I'm working with, but I believe in the genre of it all as well as a whole. Like I believe like everything that I learned in my career is to help this genre. Everything. Like I know that for a fact. So, our plan is to do just that. Like it's funny when I look at the chat and I see people mention like Young Chris. I know there's no artist in this space that I don't know and like that I haven't talked to personally. Like I know them, like I pull up on them. I've been to their shows. Like I'm really heavily invested in this space.
Definitely. Thank you.
Dope.
And by the way, somebody put in the chat, Steady is to me is like she's like the Christian version of Tim's. Like her tone is like she got like that thing in her tone and her voice that's just like something really fresh. But yeah, like all of those artists, KB from Tampa, he been in my studio. Like these are all like it's like a big family thing now. You know what I mean? Where it's like we all like I couldn't just do this and not learn the community. Like it's like you got to know who the community is. You got to go out to the streets. You got to go out and talk to the people, and that's what I've been doing for 2 years now. Right, ever since we decided to embark on this journey. I make sure that I just literally told someone a couple of days ago. I do this thing like at my studio every couple of weeks on a Friday night. Every 2 weeks we do this thing called worship night on a Friday night in my studio, and we just get in here and we pray together, we read together, we sing together. It's really cool. But I just told somebody that our next one is supposed to be on March the 7th. I need to make it March the 6th because we got like 2 Christian hip hop artists coming to town. They got a concert on March the 7th. I can't miss it. So like, that's just like I'm in it. I'm in it for real.
Definitely.
I respect like the Lecrae's and the Andy Minios and all of them, but it's also like there's a new wave of artists that I'm telling y'all that we're tapped into that most people don't even know about yet that are going to be those in the next 3 to 4 years. And that's what I'm focusing on. Like, yo, where's the next new hungry young talent coming from? Like that's what I'm looking for.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We're gonna jump around a little bit. Brittany, her hand's not working, but Brittany, feel free. Turn your mic on and rock.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Rodney, it's a pleasure to meet you. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard your producer tag and I knew I was gonna love the song. I just knew I was gonna love the song. And also congratulations on your 2025 induction to the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Actually, if you ask me, it's long overdue. Long overdue.
You know what's crazy that I didn't even notice, but you had to be in the music industry. I think it's 20 plus years or something in order to even, even I've been doing it for 30 years, but you have to be like plus 20 just to be, I guess, inducted.
They should have made an exception for you. Just your writing ability, your ability to, I think I watched a documentary of you in it, and you were working with an artist, and just your dedication to knowing who that artist is on a personal level before you put pen to paper to write for them. And I think that that's something that I've heard Money Long, who's also an incredible songwriter, talk about. I've heard other songwriters say that they're very selective for who they write with, because it is a spiritual connection with that other person. You are taking parts of their life that is just so deep. And so that leads me into my question is, can you think of an artist that you've worked with where you had a cathartic writing session with, where you just remember that session being so lifted for both of you? And part two of that question is, do you think that today's artists have that same dedication to that process?
Yeah, I would say one. I mean, there's so many, there's so many that I work with where it jumps off. But I would say for me, Mary J. Blige for sure. Like, I never forget like going into New York City at like almost like 19. I think I was like 19 years old, and I went to do a listen. She had a listening session at Quiet Studios, and all these producers would line up playing beats. And I had to make all the beats for her the day before because they had called me and I had nothing prepared. So I had to go and do all the beats in the basement the day before. And I'll go in the room, Mary, and I played the beat to I Can Love You. I played the beat to Share My World. I played the beat to Can't Get You Off My Mind. All of these joints that was on the Share My World album, I did them literally the night before. But when Mary said, yo, you're not leaving the city, I'm not letting you leave the city. And she put me up in a hotel, and then we went to Giant Studios. And the first day we wrote Share My World, we wrote I Can Love You the next day. Like, it was just something like, and since then, you're talking about 1996 is when we started actually working together, right? Here we are still working together. You know what I mean? In 2025. So that's a testament to, in my opinion, to like a great collaboration if you can keep going together for years and years and years. And then I think the second thing is, I think there's definitely, like, I had that with SZA when I worked with SZA in 20, I think we worked together in 2020, right? Yeah, right, literally right before COVID hit. Me and SZA got in the room. We did like 7 to 8 ideas like in like 3 hours. Like, it was just flowing. Like, I was like, yo, this is crazy. So I still think people have that, right? I think what we're missing, or what we need more of the producer songwriter album collaboration. I think we're missing the thing where you had the producer sit down with the artist and like, yo, we're going to craft the album. Let's because it's something about that tells a story different, right? And we haven't really been seeing that lately. We've been seeing so many names on one song. Sometimes I look at the credits of a song and I'd be like, dang, 16 writers? Like, that's like that's a lot of people for one song, where back in the day it was like, you had your crew, like 3 to 4 people in a room, and you just vibing and you getting it done. So I would love to see us get back to the day where it's like, yo, the artist and the producer lock in and they build a team and they make a whole album together. That's what I think we're missing.
I love that. And I also I would be remiss without saying congratulations with all of the work that you've done with Ray. I think that she is an incredible artist, and her performance at the Grammys was just, I think people who were there that I know said that it was electrifying. So just congratulations.
She's different. I'm actually about to work with her again really soon. Like, I think in the next month or so. She's really
awesome.
She's very special. Like, working with her, she's one that out of a lot of artists, I've never seen someone that is relentless in making that lyric perfect. Like, she'll spin. I'm talking about when we did Genesis, we worked on that for 2 years. 2 years. Yeah. I'm talking about maybe like 50 sessions just to get to the.
I'm just so excited to see what the two of you are going to continue to do, because so far it's been spectacular to watch and you guys have been killing it. So thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you being here today with us.
Thank you.
All right, dope stuff. Like I said, we're just gonna jump around a little bit. We're gonna go T-Rex, then we're gonna go Leak TV, and then we're gonna go to DJ Queen B. So let's go next with T-Rex.
What's up, Rodney, man? Big fan of yours, and definitely thank you and blessed to have you on this call and being a light to the industry. The question I have for you is what key elements do you focus on when collaborating with artists to ensure their vision is realized while also infusing your own unique sound into the project?
Yeah, I think my process is always, I'll spend some time with the artist first, kind of getting to know them and knowing where they are in their life. Because I think everything is about, relatable content. You know what I mean? When you're working on music, how's it going to, how it could be one thing in the studio, but is it going to transfer to the people outside the studio when it comes out? And to me, the best way to get to that is, well, let's talk about subject matter that's relatable to everyone, right? Like, so if someone's going through, let's say a ill breakup, that don't mean you just go talk about something that doesn't have to do with that. Let's talk about that, because there's millions of people that might be dealing with that same thing or whatever. So my thing is to more so as a producer to pull that out of that artist, right? To make sure that they stay truthful to the pen. And then, and just doing what I do, what I feel like I do best. And that's what I do best, is really just trying to push the artist into their next phase and their next level, right? Like how can, when Brandy came out and she was buzzing with I Want to Be Down and all of that as a young teenage artist, when I got in with her, it was like, okay, what can I do to take her to the next, even though I'm new and I'm young and I'm still thinking like, how can we go up from where she's already at? And, and then you get records like The Boy's Mine with her Monica, which explodes everything. Cause it's like, the world says you two don't like each other. So we already know that everybody believes you two are enemies. So let's now give them a record where you guys are actually enemies on the song, and you guys are actually tussling and fighting over a guy or whatever. And it just becomes this movie to everybody else. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it's about. It's about, you have to have somewhat of somewhat be a psychologist to be a producer, right? Because you got to be able to get into the artist's head and understand where they are and where you can take them.
I appreciate that, Rodney. Just keep on doing what you're doing, man. I was just traveling from Columbia, South Carolina last week to the Army base there, and I had Full Moon on repeat. And that song is like so aesthetically pleasing. Like the arrangement and everything was so great that you can't help but to keep listening to it. But everything that you have touched has been gold, and it definitely has been a great deal to have you in this industry. So I definitely appreciate everything you have done for us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
All right. Malik Davis.
What's up, Rodney? How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Malik?
Okay, great. So I have two questions for you. So, the Grammys was about 2 weeks ago, and we know you worked with Beyonce so many times, and she finally won Album of the Year. So, can you explain how to see, like you worked with her so many times, how did it feel to know that she won Album of the Year after 25 years of working in the industry?
Of course, I'm congratulated her for that achievement. Me personally, I feel like I would wanted to see it with an R&B record or what some of her past work, because I feel like when you come up with a genre and you're doing it's like if I won something right now, if I decided tomorrow that I'm gonna do a rock album and then I won the best rock album, I would be cool with winning that award, but I would be like, hold up, but what about all those 50 other works that I did?
Right.
From a cultural standpoint, right? So I feel like, it's great that she actually finally won Album of the Year, but I also feel like at the same time, there's so many other things.
You should have won for previous.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I feel like I bet you she would probably feel the same way, right? She would probably feel like, dang, I should, the album, I think it was the album, one of the albums that I was on actually with Deja Vu and all of that. Like,
Right.
That was one of her best projects. You know what I mean? So, but if somebody put Tracy Maplesport, it's like Denzel winning for Training Day. Exactly. Like,
Right.
There's many other, films you couldn't be like, well, he should have won for John Q, or he should have won for this, you know what I mean? But he won for the drug dealer role, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he went for the crooked cop role, you know what I mean? Like, so,
Right.
but we still have to applaud the fact that she did win, and by the way, it does open up doors, you know what I mean, for other Black artists in the country genre that have been overlooked for years now. It opens up doors for sure.
Right. And my last question is, we know you work with tons of people, and you have these people signed to you. And my question is, will you ever do like a collaboration with like I grew up in the church, so some people call it like a secular artist, like Gorilla, and then one of the Christian artists. Would you ever do that with the artists that signed to you?
If I get in the room with any of those artists, my goal is to bring them to Christ. Like, I'm gonna just be real with you. Like if I'm getting in the room with them, it ain't just like, yo, let's make a record. Like, I'm hoping that you leave the studio changed. I'm hoping that you leave different, because then I'm just doing a disservice to God and what I'm here to what I'm called to do.
Right. Thank you so much.
All right. We're gonna go Queen B, and then after that, I want to get back to some more music, man. But Queen, you do your thing, and then we're going after the music, we'll get to End Zone and Dab and keep it flowing. But go ahead, Queen.
Hi, my name is Queen. I go by DJ Queen B. I am out of Hartford, Connecticut. I just want to salute you to all your contributions to the industry. And I just want to say that I can attest the powerful intersection of gospel music and hip hop. Just basically two forces that have shaped our cultural emotions and sound. As a choir member back in the 80s and 90s, I Voices of Freedom under Reverend Lisa Clayton. And I can recall when we in rehearsal and they said, oh, we about to remix this. We about to change this up a bit. So I can definitely see how gospel music has impacted remixing with R&B and hip hop. And I just wanted to let you know that we appreciate you, and also wanted to ask you a question of, is there any songs, like any old hymns or any songs that you want to remix, or you ever thought about remix?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for, it's funny. I got a folder right now with a bunch of like gospel chops that I, took a bunch of vinyl and just like one day went through a bunch of vinyl and put some samples aside to start chopping up. But yeah, I mean, it's so many great classic songs that I grew up on specifically that I think deserve to be refreshed and reimagined, right? And it's funny because most I tell people, most Black people grew up in the church. Like you done been to church somewhere with your grandmother, your auntie, your uncle, somebody. You don't stop through it at some point. So it's important for us to rally around this generation of talent that's trying to get their word across and be like, yo, the same way you breaking and playing those other records, go ahead and play someone else. Play someone else over here. You know what I'm saying? Give us that same shot.
Absolutely. I always remember going to rehearsal because we used to open up for Hezekiah Walker and
my guy Hezekiah.
And we get into rehearsal, they like, we changing it up a bit. And it was that adrenaline, that rush.
Yeah.
I love you. I love it and appreciate you, and keep doing what you're doing, ministering and getting the word out about Christ through your music and being passionate about it. God bless you.
That's what's up, man. Positive vibes. Alex Jean.
Yeah.
Talk to us about him and the song Matthew 18:20.
It's crazy because he was just here, actually. He was just here a minute ago. But Alex, someone who I discovered in a small room. I went to go see him with my kids at a small show in Florida. And there was like 6-7 people performing. And he performed. He was like the second to last performing. and he was killing. And then he pulled out a guitar and started playing. So when you hear 1820, you hear the guitar on it. That's him playing as well. And I was like, yo, I ain't never seen no hip hop. I ain't never seen nobody rapping and then start playing like they Prince. Like I've never seen that. And that I was like, man, I one day hopefully I can sign this kid. And it's funny, right after that, I never approached him to sign him actually. I actually just approached him and was like, yo, if you need any mentorship, you can come to my crib, you can come to the studio, whatever you want. And he would call me weekly and be like, yo, can I pull up on? Like, yeah, come on. And he would just ask me questions. And we just built a relationship for like a year and a half. And then one day he was just like, yo, I want to rock out with y'all, with Aliens Alive and what y'all doing. And we signed him, and he's killing, man. He's like getting a lot of attention right now. I'm really proud of what he's doing. And Matthew 18:20, what I love about Matthew 18:20, I hope you play it actually, because what I love about it is like, it's so intentional, right? Because you do have these artists who sometimes they want to fit into the mainstream. Like they feel like, oh, because they're doing Christian hip hop, that they might not be taken seriously. So we can't be as intentional with God and saying God or Jesus or whatever it is, because we might not get the airplay, or we might not get the so and so. And like what I love about Matthew 18:20 is like you'll hear it, like he's just super intentional right out the gate. You watch the video, he's super intentional right out the gate. And it just feels good. It feels good, it sounds good, and how can you not want to play it? You know what I mean? Like it's one of those. So I'm proud that we have some bold people out here like Alex Jean.
Fire. Well, let's get into it. The song's called Mask.
And by the way, he sold out all his tour dates like that. Like he announced his tour. His tour starts on March 6th, and he sold out. Like he got to add tour dates. He had to add another New York show because it sold out in like minutes. So like, yo, he's the real deal. He's a real deal.
No doubt about it. I got you. I know that your team. I know you got to bounce soon. So I guess we'll play this and let it rock out. But I do want to say, first of all, thank you for pulling up, and I'm really proud that you're taking to this sound and to this energy, and committed to it. People have sort of put their toe into the gospel hip hop, or the more inspirational side of music, but you're committed to it. I think that's awesome, and it's great that you're here, because a lot of people didn't know what you were doing, and now that's how watch and see how it just starts to bubble and bubble and bubble. Like I said, we're gonna play this record. This is Alex Jean, Matthew 18:20, and shout out to Trey Wobb, shout out to Jennifer Norwood and everybody else, Jen Boogie, and check this out. I'm sorry I know y'all had questions, but hey, it's all
Hey, look,
good.
man, if you want me for another 15 minutes, I'm here.
All right, well, I don't want to be for the team, you know what I mean?
15, I just got a hard out at 6:25.
Say no more. Let's play this song. We'll be right back. Check this joint out, y'all. Crazy.
I'm excited for that, and I'm really excited because he just played me another one that he's coming out with soon called Win. That's great. There's like part 2 of that, which is crazy. So, and that again, the guitar at the end, that's him playing. So to hear like a dude with that type of raspy tone, and you just don't expect to see, a young boy with the braids and just going crazy with the guitar. He's a real musician, plays the bass, plays the drums. Like, yeah, man, real dope. Real
Fire.
dope.
Fire. We need vinyl, man. I think
All right.
come with the wax. Sometimes you gotta come with the records of the wax.
Come with the vinyl. You're right.
Yeah. Come with the wax, man. Okay. DJ End Zone, you got 30 seconds. You're gonna rock, and then we're gonna go to DJ Dab, and we're gonna try to get, we're gonna K-Max or Head Rush, then K-Max. So go ahead, End Zone.
All right. Hey, what's up with you? Loving what you do. You're actually one of my top 5 producers of all time. I want to give you a flowers because you deserve it. My question is, because this is how I feel. I feel like sometimes the producers, they don't get the attention they deserve. Like the person that's singing the song, rapping on the song, they good. But I'm like, give the producer their flowers. It's like they don't get the attention. Do you think producers are slowly getting their attention?
That's a good question. Like, again, I feel like the producers 20 years ago, there was got a lot of attention because it was a producer driven industry. And like you kind of knew like a lot of the producers that was working on the projects and to come up. And I feel like right now, like if the tag is the only thing that's helping with the notoriety of it, right? Because like for example, if we don't hear Mustard's tag on Not Like Us, we don't know who produced that. You feel what I'm saying? Like it would just been another West Coast record, it's just another West Coast producer. So I think the producers aren't getting the looks that they should get, in my opinion. And part of the reasons why, though, let me give you my reason why. 99% of the records that I worked on in my career was produced by me. Right? Nowadays, you look at what's going on, it's like produced by 5, 6, 7 people. They passing out, it's so much collaboration and so many names on one song. We don't know who did what. We don't know what the specialty is from the producer. We don't know what they do. We knew Teddy Riley was New Jack Swing, right? We knew. We don't really know anymore. Like we trying to figure, unless you're Metro Boomin, you know what I mean? Unless you Hit Boy, or unless you one of those type of produce, then we don't really know.
Yeah. And then, like you said, some dude got their style to it. Like Teddy Riley, when you hear New Jack Swing, you know it's him. And when I hear your producer tag, I'm like, yeah, I know that's him. Even before the name pop, I'm like, yeah, the way he produced, I know that's him. Same with Mustard. Based on like the way you make the beats, I know it's you already.
That's right. We it's called branding. You know what I mean? You just branding your brand. That's what you're doing. That's what we've been doing. Some people didn't do tags. You just knew them by the sound. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Babyface, L.A. Reid, just knew their sound. They just, that's how we know them.
Word. All right. Well, thank you. We're gonna go to DJ Dab next. Go ahead, you got 30 seconds, brother.
Hey, peace, Dark Child. Man, that quick story where you said you made Share My World in one night, that touched me because, sir, that song I can play like religiously. I used to let that burn a hole in my CD player. That was the one song I keep on repeat. But that brings me to my question of, okay, I'm a upcoming producer myself, or I should say a producer. But studios have evolved over the years so much, from analog to the new digital hardware. What are you finding are your now go-tos? Like, are you still going to your analog gear, mixing it on boards, or do you use DAWs? Like, how are you mashing it all up these days? And do you mix your own stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like to the right of me over here is like, if I just tune it on, you'll see like all my analog keyboards. So like, even though I have them in my, in Logic, even though I have the quick things if I'm traveling and I need to move real quick, I got, and I got the plugins. But when I really want that beefy sound, I'm going to my analog, for everything pretty much. I still have my MPCs all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an MPC head. I'm since a kid. So, but I believe in balance as well. You know what I mean? I definitely believe that it's okay. It's okay with the way technology is moving. It's okay to use new technology and blend it with what you know best, right? So I mix both worlds.
Awesome.
All right. Dope stuff. Well, I feel like we've accomplished the goal of getting there by a certain time. It's just great to see you. Great to have you back, man. It's awesome to see you putting people that know the ropes as well as new people on your team. And shout out to just the whole space, the whole genre, man, because it deserves this push and we need that. So, I don't want to get screamed on by your team, But
no, we good. I know you had still got Head Rush and one other, so we good,
okay.
bro. I'm here.
You know what then?
I ain't tripping. We here. Let's get it while we here. Tomorrow's not promised, man. So let's go.
All right, we Head Rush. Let's do it.
Taking my time, man. Salute.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Am I clear?
You in the Matrix a little bit. You know how that go.
Yeah, am I good? Is this good?
Yeah, I think we can hear you. Go ahead.
I'm sitting real still. Okay, yeah, man. Hey, salute to you for jumping on the call and hanging out with us today, my brother. I'm DJ Head Rush out the Midwest. I'm here for everything that you're promoting. I've been trying to kind of turn over a new leaf with myself as far as, following my faith and getting back right with.
It's good.
Oh man, I think he went back into the Matrix.
Hey, listen, man. He said the most key part right there. Following his faith and getting back to that's all I needed to hear. We good.
Damn. All right. Well, all right. K-Max.
Yeah.
Wait, Head Rush, you might have to go outside and do it because you like completely went out. All right. Just hold tight. K-Max, go ahead. You got about 30 seconds, but do your thing.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. Really appreciate you, Rodney Jerkins. You're a legend. Love the music over decades. Two things. One, I agree with CL. You should do vinyl. There's producers here. I don't know if you're familiar with Tone B. Nimble. He does like gospel breaks. And or he does edits of gospel songs. And they sell very well, especially on 45. And I really like the music because normally I don't really do gospel rap, but I'm very interested in checking out your project. So hopefully we get DJ packs and instrumental stuff, and I'll be more than happy to play it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And I do agree, man, because like even when I get the stuff on Digiwaxx, you see the producers, you see like 10 names. Like who's doing what? So some of the best projects in recent years, the Alchemist joints with Larry June, the Pete Rocket Common, have all been singular producers with DJs. I mean, with rappers and artists.
That's right.
So, and much respect the same with the faith. If you want to make careers about the next stop, make careers with lying about the drug kingpin, you all honest about your faith, and that's pretty honorable.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that.
Shout out to K-Max.
Thank you, CL.
K-Max is on the bus in Chicago. I see you. He's on a bus doing the conference call. That might be the realest moment we had. Shout out to K-Max for that. You already know.
I'll be in New York this week. I want to see what's her name? Natasha Deer.
Oh yeah, she's gonna kill it. She's dope. You have a good time. All right, DJ Double XL, real quick. Tap in, brother.
Rodney, what's good, my brother?
What's up, bro? How you?
Man, I was hearing what you're doing with this music, and I interviewed a kid. I rock with the Worldwide Fleet DJs. I'm out of California. That would be perfect for your lineup. His Instagram is at creative_Trey_. Creative. Yep,
Hey,
check him out. He has a song called Church that, I mean, you will be wilding when you hear this, brother. It is incredible. And I just was looking for the right person to lead towards him. But if you hear this, I guarantee you're going to be wanting to work with this kid.
Bet. All right. I'm
Double XL, make sure you put that in the chat.
I did put it in the chat.
I already grabbed it from him.
I see.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
And thank you for all your contributions, you know what I'm saying, to the music. Thank you for rocking with Digiwaxx. And man, just keep on doing what you're doing. And you got our support out here in Cali, my brother. Peace and blessings.
Appreciate that.
Man, this is great. Legendary Rodney Jerkins in the building. Please support the movement. Y'all already know we ain't playing no games. We are just trying to expose each other to the quality records and all the songs and all the music out here. So let's just do that. Rodney, again, man, I just want to say thank you for pulling up. Can't wait to hear more from Aliens Alive too, man. And I feel like it's really early. Like we actually need to do interviews with all these artists and really just get them out there. Anybody who needs drops, wants interviews, I know other DJ collectives are also doing other conference calls or however you want to support. Make sure you get at Rodney's team. They will definitely ping you direct, or you can hit them up. I think Beyonce is actually in here, so in the room. So reach out to Beyonce. Beyonce, maybe you should leave your information in here so people can follow up and do their thing. And yo, man, thank you again for pulling up with us and spending some time and just going through a little bit of what's going on in the mind of Rodney Jerkins, man. I know there's so much more, we go back. This is just a tidbit. Let us know. And let us know if you plan on doing any listening sessions. Are you close to Tampa by any chance?
They're like an hour, 15 minutes out.
Okay, cool. Because, I think, also bringing DJs and doing listening sessions is a powerful tool.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we could do that for sure.
We got the studio and everything. And man, we're going to let you go do your thing. Again, thank you. I know you got to run. So, yeah, thank you for extending that time.
Hey, listen, man, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for bringing me on, but thank you for what you do for the community, for the DJs, right? Because low key, like our records don't spin, our records don't get played, then what do we have? I always tell people, like, what you do in the studio or what you do in your crib, it don't really mean nothing if somebody ain't playing it. Like if it ain't getting looked at, if it ain't getting played, then what do we got? You know what I mean? So thank you for always, for throughout the years doing what you've been doing and continue to do. And everybody on here, thank you for what y'all do. Because like I said, our records don't go nowhere if it ain't for y'all. If y'all bring it to the forefront, y'all allow the people to listen to it and vibe with it, and that's the greatest thing we could ask for, as producers and songwriters, as artists.
No doubt about it, man. Well, y'all heard it. Rodney Jerkins in the building, and we will be back. We're gonna play a song, and then we got I think Shaggy and Sting, which will be pretty different, tapping in next. So it's big New Music Wednesdays. If you're checking this out on your platform, make sure you take a post, take a screenshot, post, let everybody know that we here. We're gonna get into this new record right here. Amanda Reifer. Check it out. Woo. New Amanda Reifer. The song's called Are You Dumb? Shout out to Pharrell on the production. Pharrell making it happen, you know what I'm saying? And
that's a hot tune, by the way. I must say.
Yo, Shaggy, why don't you just jump on it, man?
No, that's a hot tune. I can't. That whole vibe. I was vibing to it, just listening to it. I was like, yo, that's a hot tune.
You think you got 16 for that?
I got 16 for whatever, son. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, son. Come on, man. But dope. It's a dope joint. You got to give credit where it's due, man.
Yeah, fire. Man. Shout out to the music, man. Shout out to the music, man. All right, I see you in the building. I see Sting in the building. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, New Music Wednesdays, man. This is something unprecedented. We never done this before, but you've been here before, Shaggy. So
absolutely. But we've
yeah, man. You're always showing love. And Sting, welcome to our little platform here where we break new music daily and every week. So thank you for pulling up, man. So let's get into it, man. So you guys are back at it. Let's talk about it. It's like, y'all are brothers of a kindred spirit making music. This seems like y'all just say, you know what, it's time to put something together. Where did the motivation come from for this particular song? And what's it all about?
This one came from my brother Shaggy.
We ain't got them kind of problems, dude. What's wrong with you? 99 problems, not the problems you have it right now.
We all got a lot of stuff going on. Look at the government. A lot of headaches going on over here.
Tell me about that. Anyway, yeah.
But, tell us a story, Shaggy.
Yeah. So, the thing you just said, we're back at it again. I don't think we're ever not back at it. Sting and I, we stay collaborating. And we stay. We did an album of where he produced Sinatra records in reggae and me singing, and he was in the studio coaching me on everything with his knee in my back, telling me how to sing it. So We collaborate every single day, every time, and this was just one of those situations where, this guy called Junja Laws is a great producer. So you have different type of producers out of Jamaica. You have the great Sly and Robbie, and you have other great producers out of there like King Jammies and King Tubbies and Cox and Dodds. These are great, huge producers that are renowned. But not a lot of people talk about Henry Junja Laws. And when you listen to his catalog of music, if you play Henry Junja Law's catalog, you're going to be like, oh, dude, I know all these songs. And what was different with him is that he's kind of the guy that actually fathered dancehall in a way, because dancehall started with artists toasting on reggae beats, which he had made with the Roots Radix band and on the Volcano label. And what he did was sound system music, which is sound system, the big speaker boxes in Jamaica. That's the type of music he made. And the band he used was Roots Radix with Flabber Holt on bass and Dean Fraser on horns and whatnot. And they created these tracks that became, so out of that born one of the biggest superstars in dancehall, the first big superstar in dancehall, which was King Yellow Man. And so, every Yellow Man records was done by Junja Laws and a lot of Barrington Levy records. And if you go through the discography of his catalog, you're gonna be like, oh, I know this. Oh, I know this. But not a lot of people talk about him so much. And so he's kind of a unsung hero in a way. I kind of explained this to Sting when I brought the record to him. And, when I played him the record, he really loved the melody and says, hey, let's do this. And, I kind of got him to sing it a way that I know would be authentic and true to the craft and to the culture. And thank him for allowing me to do that also. And, it just became this kind of a vibe, this energy. The beat is the original Yellow Man, I'm Getting Married, which is a big Yellow Man record. And to flip that beat and be on top of and create a sound system song, which was very passionate to him also. He has a sound system, Volcano. That was what it was all about. So, and Sting just came in and graced it properly, man. And everybody's really super excited about it.
No, man, the vibes is immediately, when you hear the tune. So it's not even a question. I did want to ask Sting a question though, because one thing I do like is the natural. It feels good, But my question to you is, where did this deep love, energy for reggae come from or start? Because I know it's even in some of your older music as well. Where does it come from, man? How did you fall in love with the music, and where did it start? Or did we lose him? We might have lost him for a second.
Did we lose him? Yeah, we did.
All right, moving and grooving. I ain't mad at him. But back to you, Shaggy. Okay, so this project, right? This single is coming from a bigger project, Shaggy and Friends.
No, actually, it's not. I have an album that I'm working on.
Okay.
I have an album that I'm working on, and that album probably should be out maybe at the end of the year.
Okay. I mean,
so that is what I'm targeting. It's an actual Shaggy album that I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm back.
She's back. He's back. Oh yeah, you could ask him the question. Ask him about the question.
No, I just missed Professor Burrell's treatise on dancehall. I'm sorry.
It was actually pretty good. I can't lie. I learned something. That was pretty good.
He's the professor, man. He knows everything.
Yeah.
Shaggy, you should do some lessons, man. You probably
we do that. But anyway, Sting, he had a question for you about the music. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did have. Because the vibe was so natural with the song. And in the last album as well, man. But my question to you was, where did your love, this deep love for reggae come from? How did it start? Because even in some of your old music, you the vibe is in there. So how did you connect with reggae music, and how did you fall in love with it?
From being a kid growing up in England, we still have a very influential West Indian community who were successful and influential in many different areas of British society, including entertainment and music. So I grew up early on with calypso, ska, then blue beat, and then reggae, and it just seemed a natural progress. You know, I had ears, I listened, I knew how important this music was, so I just loved it. And also being a bass player, you know, bass is very, very important. And as a bass player and a singer, obviously, I'm listening to Marley, I'm listening to the Wailers. So, you know, for me, it's I'm there to pay devotion to reggae, and I'm honoring reggae. It's not anything but love. I love it.
Awesome, man. That's what we like to hear. That's what's up. I do want to play the song, you know, and then I'm gonna open it up a little bit for people.
I do want you to play the song.
Yeah. Well, you know, let's get to business, right? Like, forget all that. Let's play some music. Let's jam. Let's relax. Till I'm on it. I know you gave a lot about it, but I'm gonna play it. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got Shaggy and Sting. Check this joint out, man. This is the record that dropped yesterday. Big up VP Records, and let's get into it.
What's up, my son?
Man, it sounds like Sting from Buff Bay.
Yeah.
From Cockburn, Penn, somewhere deep in Jamaica.
I'm from Raytown, man. Raytown.
All right. Yeah, man. Y'all gonna have to turn up the island real quick with that, man. That's
wicked.
And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Shout out to the record because I played it. Shout out to Dane Bogle, who's probably on here from VP.
Yeah, Dane. Yeah, man, VP.
I played it for Funk Master Flex this morning, and he said, "Yo, tomorrow I'm running it first." You
Flex know what up. Flex know music, man. Yeah,
just like that.
Yeah.
So y'all about to get a forward in New York like none other come tomorrow. So big up to that.
Big up to Flex, man. Yeah.
It's straight off of the vibes. So that's what's up. T-Rex, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Sting and Shaggy, big fans of you all. I live in the Gulf Coast, and I'm definitely going to be rocking that and spreading it out to Pensacola and Mobile, all the way through New Orleans. I have a two-part question for both of you all. How did your diverse musical styles influence the creative process behind your project? And what have y'all learned from each other during this journey?
Yeah, you go ahead, Shaq.
Yeah, you know, I learned a lot from Sting. As an artist, I used to just go in and just cut my vocals. And, you know, I was part of production. I did production also on a lot of my records. But I think with working with Sting, I got really more focused on the instrumentation. You know, just how to really put arrangements together. Sting put me into very uncomfortable positions because he's, you know, he thinks out the box was just listening to my vocal. It was like, you're a singer. You're a singer. I never, you know, I always know myself as a dancehall, you know, I toast. You know, I mean, it's like, no, you're a singer. You're a singer, and you're one of the better singers I've known. And he really pushed me. So when we did this Frank Sinatra record, those are some of the most complex body of work and compositions out there. And I think after I started to do them and hearing myself, I was like, whoa, dude, I mean, you know, and he sat there and took every single vocal for weeks on end on it. So I've learned a lot with it. And the diversity of our musical background, I mean, it's kind of in one because on paper, we don't look like it work, but when you hear us, it works perfect. You know, a lot of the early Police songs, a lot of those songs had a lot of great reggae influences. People don't even know that songs like King of Pain and one of his biggest hits, probably his biggest hit, which is Every Breath You Take, were written in Jamaica at Golden Eye also. So there's a deeper core within this thing where the culture is concerned.
I think with this record, you know, the shoe was on the other foot because Shaggy was the teacher and I was the pupil, and I'm always happy to be the pupil. But he was giving me little tips about phrasing, and you say I sound island, but that was Shaggy's influence. That was him, you know, nailing me and saying, no, do it this way, against my natural instinct. So, you know, I thank Shaggy for that. Thank you, Shaggy.
You're welcome, sir.
Professor.
Yes, y'all definitely compliment each other well, and so I definitely enjoy everything that y'all doing, and I hope y'all continue to working with each other. And thank you for that.
Dude, I mean, I don't think we'll ever stop working with each other. I mean, it's too much fun.
Okay.
It's this is not just making music. This is a friendship. It's beyond that. I mean, I talk to Sting almost. I'm right now at Heinz Hall about to do a orchestra show, and early today he called me and gave me a whole pep talk about what to expect and how I'm going to kill it, and it's exactly what I need. I mean, this is my brother that I didn't even know I needed. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a relationship I value deeply, man. So yeah.
What's up, man? I love that. That's what's up. That makes the world better.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what we need. That's what we need. We keep the vibes coming. Thank you.
So we're here for.
Yeah. So all right, we're gonna go to I think Brittany Cherry.
Hi, Sting. Sorry. Hi, Sting. Hi,
Hello.
Shaggy.
Hello.
How are you?
We're
We're
fine.
great.
Good. Last time I spoke with you, Shaggy, you were here with Bruce Melody, and
Yes.
we appreciate you gracing us again. And Sting, you know what? I remember being a child and listening to your music, and just like everyone has said, it's just the blend of all of these other influences coming together so perfectly. Like your partnership with Shaggy just seems like it wouldn't work on paper, but it does, and it's magical. And I think everyone glosses over your Grammy win for your collaborative album in 2019. And I'm like, thank you for that album. That album was great. 44876.
Yes.
Yes, it was a beautiful, well-produced arrangement. And that's exactly what I'm expecting from this, whatever you guys got going on now. And to get another Grammy. I'm fully expecting that.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I read that you have a festival coming up March 13th, and it's supposed to be one of the biggest reggae, the Rise Up Festival coming. So what can we expect from this festival?
Go ahead.
We've done a few of these Sting and Shaggy shows. Obviously, with the 44876 album, we toured together, and what we did was the mashup of both bands. And people didn't know what to expect until they're sitting there and they're hearing hits after hits after hits after hits, and they're like, "Oh my God, I forgot all about these songs." When you combine Sting's catalog of hits and my catalog of hits, we have some really, really big records, and it really is tailored for a very fun night. I think one of the things I look forward to in these shows is the banter between him and I on stage. Which becomes a bit, which is a lot of fun, So I think on the Rise Up, they should come with an expectation to just hear some really great tunes, really dance, wear comfortable shoes. There'll be two bands put together, his band and my band together, and we're going to go back and forth on tunes. You might see him singing a couple of hooks on mine, and you might find me singing with some of his. And then, and we're just going to have an amazing, we're very big in crowd participation and interaction, and it's going to be fantastic.
It's a little bit like a sound system battle because we have,
a
two
clash.
bands set up on the stage. So a clash, yeah.
Yeah.
He play a song and I will respond to it with one of mine, and then he play one. So it's, I'm not sure who wins, but the audience wins. But
the audience wins, yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to that next Grammy so I can celebrate with you guys.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, I need another Grammy. I need one.
You have so many, Sting. I don't know. Maybe we could just add it to the collection. Maybe you can mail it to my house, Sting. Just mail. I'll keep it. I'll keep it safe for you.
It's yours.
Thank you.
What's up? We're gonna go to Quantum Leap Radio, checking in actually Grandfather Clock. Go ahead, brother.
No, I first off, man, shout out to both of you, man. I like that track. I'm the hip hop guy here, so even with that, man, that really was definitely a vibe. My question is to Sting, though. Sting, I actually got a couple questions for you.
Sure.
One, and I'm about to say a name that's probably a curse word right now, but I just want to kind of clear up the internet chatter. But a couple of years ago, they talked about "I'll Be Missing You" from Puff Daddy, and they were saying that like you got 100% of the publishing, and they're still paying you on that. Can you clear up that? Like, what is the business quite possibly with that song?
Well, I own the publishing. I did, but I sold it. But when you record one of my songs, you have to pay the publishing. It's 100%.
Right.
So there was no argument there.
Okay, but he's not. They're not paying you like to this day. It's just a publishing deal, right?
No. He's paying the publisher, not me.
Okay. Yeah. Now my next question might be a little bit different. It's not music related, but what do you think about the new Dune movies? And have you seen them?
I've seen them both, and I love them. Although I made the original Dune in 1982 or 83 in Mexico City. Yeah, well, it came out in 84, but I made it in 83. Ours was funnier. A little more camp, if you like, but these movies are very well made. Timothy Chalamet is fantastic. Our villains, I think we were more villainous.
Okay, I got
we weren't so easy to kill either.
Right.
The new Harkonnens are very easy to get, to kill. We weren't that way. We were tough. We were tougher.
No doubt, man. Now that was my question, man. Like I said, it's good having y'all on here, man. Good luck with the record.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dope. All right, we're gonna go to Malik Davis real quick. We'll give it like 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Just keep it flowing. Go ahead, brother.
Hello, Shaggy. Hello, Sting. So I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
We know both of y'all have been in the industry for some time now, and genre has become a big word in the industry. So when y'all make music, do y'all just be like, "Oh, this is just something I want to put out," or you like, "I want to put it under this certain genre or something like that"? How do y'all feel about that?
Well, personally, I don't worry about genre at all. I don't like putting people in boxes or my art in boxes like that. My thing is, when you've been in this game for a long time and you're influenced by a lot of things. Everybody look for inspiration. So I look for inspiration, in many different genres and many different artists. I don't care if it's a country artist or as a rock artist, wherever I find the inspiration to create what I'm creating. Sting told me a long time ago, hybrids shift culture. And I've always been an artist my whole career. If you listen to my catalog of music, they're all hybrid songs, right. You know what I mean? Of me collaborating, and at this point in the game, I want to do things that are fun, things that I enjoy myself, things that evokes joy and bring joy to people and bring smiles. And, I've found a kindred spirit in Sting where that is concerned, because, he's about the same thing. And so we just connect really well and just go for it.
Right. Sting, what about you?
I think it's the artist's job to escape genres. They tend to be like traps. They stick you in a room and they can control you. I don't want to be in that room. I want to see what the room next door is doing or the room across the hall. Because when sparks fly between genres, it really is exciting. Something new happens. You create a new room. Then you got to escape out of that one. It's constant escape.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much.
And we've been escaping for a while now.
Yeah, I'm escaping.
All right, we're gonna go real quick to Austin Brown and then DJ Big Red. Shout out to Austin. Austin, go ahead.
Yo, Austin.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, Austin.
My bad. Hey, Sting and Shaggy, thank you guys for being on this. Huge fans of both of you. I have a two-part question. Sting, I've seen you with a 3-piece at Dodger Stadium with the Police. I've seen you acoustic, and I've seen you with your own band that had jazz and a lot of jazz influence and different musicians in it. You seem to arrange your songs in a different way each time with those different setups. Which setup do you prefer, or is it different times, different angles of how you like to do it? And same thing with you, Shaggy. I've seen you with just a DJ, and I've seen you with the band. What do you prefer?
Go ahead,
I'm always looking for some novelty in the song that I haven't discovered before. I could have written a song 40 years ago. It's my job tonight to sing that song as if I've just written it, with the same curiosity, the same passion, the same wish for discovery. Because songs aren't museum pieces. They're living, breathing organisms, and you need to breathe life into them every night. So it's going to be different than the way it was last night. Definitely different than the way it was last week. I think Shaggy has the same idea as I do.
Thank you.
Do you?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it calls for you want to be able to exist in different arenas, you know, and there's some places that you go that a track show just makes sense. You know what I mean? The DJ, you know, you guys are DJs, you guys are in the party every night. You guys read a crowd and know what song to play, when, how to do it, how to hype it, what to say on the mic to get that audience in. It's the same thing when you're in there with it. It's not a track show is not going to be like a real scripted show. It's going to be that thing where you're kind of feeling the audience, right? And you kind of read in the room and say, okay, I'm going to drop this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. That's the freedom I like with tracks. With a band show now, there's also another set of freedom. It's great where you could flip at any minute and say, okay, I'm going to do this type of song. We could change arrangement up. We could do all of this stuff on that. And that makes it also real cool. So it depends on what arena you're in, especially if you're in an arena where everybody else got banned and we're like, yeah, I'm gonna do some things here, you know what I mean? And so you can get into that. So it just gives you freedom, man.
No, it's great hearing it like that because you know how to read the room and the energy. And then Sting, you saying the songs are like they're not like museum pieces. You always want to approach it a different way.
Yes, sir.
That's an inspired way to look at it. Thank you guys.
Appreciate
Thank you, Austin.
Man, you guys are knocking it out the park, man. Look at this. You guys are like professionals. Really good. Real quick, I did want to ask another question because both of y'all, you know, everybody loves the collaborations, right? This has been going on, like I said, from the last album to now. But one question I did have for Sting was more about your honor and love for the DJ. You know, what are your thoughts on the DJ, I guess, and how it sort of inspires culture from your point of view?
Well, yeah, you guys are the curators of the culture now. So you have a very important job. You have a job that record companies used to do. They used to curate the acts, nurture the acts, let them grow, advise them. Now that's your job. You have to create music for the people out there because there's nobody else doing it. So obviously, I'm glad that you're all there today, and we're all trying to convince you that our record is worthy. But you have an important job right now.
Awesome. And then Shaggy, my question for you was about at this point, listening to you give that quick history lesson. Initially, no, that was dope. Like I really, you know, it was like wow. But you've worked with so many people and you put people on, like Brittany said last time. You were introducing an artist from another country. I think you were from,
which is a massive. All of East Africa really jumped to that record.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, at this point, who else do you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet that would still, you know, continue to evolve and inspire you like Sting has and others have?
Well, Sting and I are the same. That's why he does all these collaboration. You just said he'll go into some jazz and go into different things, you know, and because it brings excitement and it inspires, you know. You know, I never sit down and look at any particular person. It really just a vibe when you meet them and say, hey, you know, I've been having a lot of great vibe with Dexter Daps, who's one of my favorite. And Dexter and I've been working on a lot of stuff. I think he's an incredible superstar. I think he could very well be the next thing. I like his mindset, his artistry, and his curiosity. I really love his curiosity. I think, you know, that guy really impressed me. There's a lot of great acts that I'm working with. You know, I'm working with a young act by the name of Lav B right now, guy called Olaf also, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that are in here that I'd work with and catch a vibe with. And I mean, it all just depends on what we come up with.
Awesome. That's what's up. All right, DJ Big Red, DJ Benz, and then Funky Skunk. We got 30 seconds each. We're going to move quick. Big Red, do your thing.
All right. Hey, I appreciate y'all being on the call. Thank you, Shaggy. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I appreciate it. Sting. I mean, I've been a big fan of you guys growing up, listening to music, to Mr. Lover Lover, to, Roxanne and stuff like that,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One thing I want to say, and like I said, real quick, give you guys your flowers as well. Y'all done so much for the hip hop community, and to where I can see that the reflection of the music that you guys bring, fresh air, collabing together. And from the last project to this new project, what do you guys think that you had what conversations did you guys have to say, hey, this was good. What we're gonna do to make this one better? Well, how did that conversation go?
Well, I tell you what,
Oh.
I think we have gotten way more comfortable with each other. I think in the first record, we were friends, but we were still getting to know each other musically, what each other's boundaries are. And, I think we've gotten to a place now where I am very, very safe, with things that Sting will come up with and say, hey, this is where we're going to take it, or that is where we're going to take it, and I think he's like that with me now. I'll come up with an idea and he'll let me lead it, and I'll let him lead certain things. So we're way more comfortable with each other right now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, really, there are no boundaries, Shaggy. What I've learned from you is spontaneity. I'm an English guy. I like to prepare. I like everything to be on paper. You ain't like that, man. You create, and that I would look at that and go, wow, I wish I could do that. But you've taught me that, so thank you. I'm more spontaneous now.
That's what's up. And my last question is the Tiny Desk. How now the first song, I heard I forget the name of the song, but y'all combined it together.
It was Jamaican in New York.
Right, the Jamaican in New York and the
Englishman in New York. Yeah.
Yeah. So
hey, might I add that was one of the very first Tiny Desk, by the way. It was one of the early, when Tiny Desk did not blow up as yet. You know what I mean? It was just getting up there, and we did it. And just so you know, it was one of the highest rated ones. A lot of people really got into it, and it was now Tiny Desk is super, super massive. But it's one of the most very proud moments, and that was really early in the morning. We had just gotten up there. It was like
I thought it was so dope.
It was like, oh, it's too early for this shit. but we went in, and Sting is he's a master at his craft, and constant professional. So we rise and shine and rise to the occasion.
That's dope, man. I appreciate y'all answering my questions. And if you got anything to say about this thing, hey, go right ahead, man. Because I don't sing before 8 o'clock. PM.
That mashup of Englishman and Jamaican in New York was, I wasn't expecting it. I was going to do my song, and then this Jamaican guy just invades the song. What can I do? But then people liked it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Dope stuff. All right. We got the DJ Benz. You got 30 seconds.
What's up? Yo, all I gotta say is we got two legends on the call. CL, thank you for doing this. Shaggy, last time I seen you was the Southwest Alliance, so it's great seeing you.
Yes, sir. Bless up, man.
And I just want to say thank you for what you've done for the music. Two quick questions. One, what is the difference of performing for a crowd now as to 30 years ago? Do you notice any difference? And two, what is your booking information? Because I work for KRDP 90.7 FM. Maybe we could bring y'all guys out here to Arizona.
Go ahead, Shaggy.
I enjoy it a lot more now being on stage because of the fact that I'm a bit more seasoned. I think in the early stages, it was just, I was a deer in a headlight in a lot of ways. Now I'm a little bit more confident. I'm more of a master of my craft. There's things I could hear that I couldn't hear from before. There's things I could feel that I couldn't feel from before. And I think my ability to actually read an audience has gotten better, to be honest with you. And I know what my boundaries are. So yeah, that would be the only difference. I still get the same enthusiasm from the audience. I still look forward to it. It's still my favorite place to be, which is on stage. And I do look forward to it.
I mean, I'm playing in Peru tonight, in Lima. I've no idea what the audience is going to be like, but I know at the end of the night, it will be the same as every other audience. My desire is that no one wants their money back at the end of the night, and that's usually the case. So that's what I'm doing. Here I'll be, but I've no idea what's going to happen. I like that sense of risk, the danger of it. It's fun.
It's an honor speaking to you guys, man. Much love.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go out with DJ Funky Skunk, and then we gotta play the song one more time, only because that's how we do it. Yard style, pull up. So
Yes, sir.
we're gonna go to Funky Skunk. You got a real quick 30 seconds. Nobody listens to me when I say 30 seconds, but you got 30 seconds. You know what I mean?
Hey, nobody took 30 seconds. But anyway, I don't have a question. I don't have a question, and I am going to take 30 seconds. First of all, Sting, Shaggy, it's an honor to be on here, introduce myself to you. I've been around for a long time. You guys don't know who I am because now I'm a cartoon character. But I just wanted to give you props and say for your longevity.
Thank you,
both
sir.
of you individually
Thank you,
and
sir.
collectively. That record is awesome. I mean, and you know what, Shaggy, it's like you've been doing your thing, you do your thing, but Sting, that took me all the way back to Synchronicity, and that's when I started being a big fan. The elements of that, and then mixed with this guy right here, that's like a combination. Yeah, y'all getting a Grammy for that. I'm already claiming that right now. I know you got a million of them, Sting. And Shaggy, I don't know how many y'all got, but I'm claiming y'all getting a Grammy for that one, man. It's just an awesome record. And hopefully I didn't take longer than 30 seconds, but I just had to come up there and say congratulations. It's an honor to be able to speak with you. It's an honor to be in your presence. And I've been doing this for a long time, so I respect the longevity, and y'all keep coming with major things every time you open your mouth. And I just hope to be like you when I grow up.
Thank you, sir. All the best, boss. Bless up.
Well, there it is. Nothing but love from the family over here.
Thank you, man.
I'm very proud to see y'all continuing on with it, and this is getting better and better with time.
And I just want to say thanks for sharing the platform with us, man. I totally appreciate it. I always get a kick out of talking to DJs across the board because I think they're definitely the life of the party. There are like things that they're the curators right now of our culture, and you guys do an amazing job. I appreciate it. All right, I'm being signaled that I gotta go because I'm about to go on stage, but I just want to say thanks to everybody out there. Sting, break a leg tonight, and we'll do the same thing, man. And by the way,
good luck.
Play that song again, yo.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that right now. But thank you for joining Shaggy. Sting, amazing having you on.
God bless.
Next time we'll play another song from you as well. And we're gonna go out with this song, Till I'm On, and you already know Jungle Laws. Check this out again. It's about 7:12 on the East Coast, 4:12 on the West.
Pretty big day, man.
Pretty big day, man. Shout out to everybody who's in the building. We can't do it alone. It's only teamwork. So shout out to everybody who's here, been listening, who've been talking in the chat, who've been asking questions, getting involved. And even if you're just chilling, appreciate you being here and pulling up. Just good stuff, man. Rodney Jerkins, awesome. Everybody was positive. Like straight positive today. Like, I mean, it's always like that, but it was like, it was really like, you know what I mean? Everybody pushing forward with something. And the messaging has been great. So, we got to get this out to the world, man. Because I think what we do here, we know it. It's been special. And we appreciate everybody pulling up, man. And man, I think next week I think we're coming right back around for another big week, man. I was expecting this one surprise visit today because he had a big show here. It was funny that Shaggy said he has a show with an orchestra tonight. Because Rakim has one in New York tomorrow. 50-piece orchestra at Carnegie Hall, the world famous Carnegie Hall. And he was gonna jump in. And I was waiting to see. Of course, they had a number that it didn't pull up. But I didn't play myself this time and say it was going to happen. It didn't happen. I've learned from that mistake. If it would have happened, it would have been a movie and everybody could have, went crazy, but didn't happen. So, no big deal. No big deal. No love lost. We keep it pushing. But yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. That record is available now on the website also, just if you need it or if you want to get it to play it. It's called Till the Morning. And how's everybody feeling?
I just want to give everybody their props, man. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm finding a little cold over here, which I didn't want to get on here and hock up a lung and shit trying to talk to them too. But props to everybody, man. Real professional. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit when we deal with legends like that, they're gonna want to come back and do this again. You know what I mean? We've had some moments in the past, cats get a little groupie and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of everybody who was on this call, man. Everybody kept it real professional, kept the questions tight, you know what I'm saying? So much respect to everybody involved today. Legendary call. Way to hold it down, see, for sure.
Thank you, man.
Kept the questions tight. That's what I'm talking about. That's where things move, dog. Keep the questions tight. Get in and out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you ask a good question and it brings you down a rabbit hole. That was even when Puba was on. Like somebody brought up his R&B. I forgot all about Mary J. Blige. You know what I'm saying? Like in Kid. Like that's what those questions should do, is create conversation. So yeah.
Totally agreed, man. Yeah, I just, overall, everybody repped, and it's good, man, because the feedback comes in the direct messages on here, and it comes on the text, and everybody's happy, man. Obviously, they be so you're dealing with cats, so they get sort of rushed off, and I get it. They don't got a lot of time, so. But shout out to Rodney, he fought through it. He said, "Oh, we're gonna hang out for a little while and do it." And having Shaggy and Sting on that was crazy. And yeah, I love what we do, man. I love what we do. I guess we'll play one more song to take us out. I don't even know what to play, man. There was a record that I heard from Lettucey that was pretty dope. Neo also dropped a new song called Show Me. I guess we could play that next week, depending on how we feel. And word, that's what it is. But good stuff. We will end it with this last joint here. But Black History Month. It is Black History Month. Don't let all this craziness around us challenge anybody's culture. Always. Don't care where you're from or what you're about. There are good people of every elk in this world. I don't care about your color. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your language. Shout out to good people. Period. End of story. Check this out. Yes, new music.
That was an anthem right there. That was definitely an anthem.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I heard that and I said, you know what? Gotta show some props for that record. Also, I just want to say some big rest in peace, man. We didn't get a chance to sort of honor some of the people earlier today, but rest in peace, Roberta Flack passed away. Rest in peace, Gwen McCrae, who also passed away. Rest in peace to Jerry Butler from the Impressions. He also passed away. And last week we lost a friend of ours named Nasty Ness. So rest in peace to Nasty Ness, Seattle hip hop legend. He's actually the person who found Sir Mix-a-Lot, and he gets credit for that. But also went on to have one of West Coast's biggest, most influential hip hop shows at the time, as well as was a part of Hits Magazine, which has helped us to stay connected through music. And his the guy who he worked for, who also passed away, Ricky Lee, and what they did there was amazing. So shout out to all of those people we lost. And Chris Jasper from the Isley Brothers as well. Thank you, Barbie. lost him as well. So it's a lot of talent. I was talking to somebody today, and they were just talking about how many people we've lost. So we always gotta remember those who came and put it down for us before. And yes, shout out to Groove as well. He was also in House Party, was also a part of
Groove Be Chill. Yeah.
Be Chill with
Chill.
Chill. Exactly. So there's a lot.
Wallace.
We said Valletta Wallace last week, but we'll say Valletta Wallace forever.
Okay.
I don't think we did though. I think we said it in the chat.
Yeah, I think that might have been after. I think it was after. And how old was she? They were saying she was
71, I think.
She must have had him young. Because my mom is, I believe, 69. When Big was popping, I was just getting to high school. So I was only 14. So she must have had him super young. Because he was, what, 25 when he died?
Or 24, 25, I don't remember.
Yeah, she must have had him super young, man. I thought she was older.
Yes, so definitely, man. Big rest in peace to everybody, man. And it's all good. But we will continue to salute and fight the fight for everybody. And I think that's about it, man. Oh, and shout out to Scott. Scott's been quiet up in here, Hip Hop. I want to apologize. I was trying to get to the point where we salute Grand Puba with the .hip hop domain name. But we'll do a separate call just to do that because he definitely deserves that. But thank you, Scott, for everything is normal. And yeah, man, we want to give him his domain name properly. She told me and we just went over and then I just could not get to it because I knew we had the next guest coming up and they were already on a time schedule. So it just didn't happen, but we will do that properly.
Before we go, can I say something real quick in regards to Grove? Because I actually went to his funeral and I just wanted to shout him out, Gene Grove. And what he was doing in the DC area for the local artists around here, for the house party tour that he's doing. And I was actually a part of it. And they're actually almost finished with it. And I see like what he was doing was so powerful. And it was just so sad to lose him, So I just wanted to say, I'm sorry, I'm at the gym, so it's like, and since you were talking about it, you kind of read my mind. I said, oh my God, I was just about to say, because I was at his funeral Thursday. So yes, it's a very sad moment because he was just fine, dancing and going crazy like he always do, and all of a sudden he's gone. So life is short, y'all.
Amen to that. Too short. Well, I think that's about it for us for today, man. It was a pretty good
Hey,
call.
CL.
Yo.
Hey, I want to make a quick announcement. DJ Manny Faces and DJ Willie Baines is going to be on Hype in the Streets tomorrow night with us, along with Bag Fuel, 11 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube Live.
That's going to be awesome. And we're definitely going to have them on next week. I mean, like I said, it's funny because Manny's like part of the family. So it's like, but he will be on for sure. And Quantum, she was talking about Groove. So, but I think we did good, man. So I guess we'll talk next week. If anybody wants to be in our chat, we do have a WhatsApp chat.
Wait, what chat is that? I never knew about that chat.
Yeah, we're in a WhatsApp chat. I don't know what the best way. How do we add everybody? Anybody?
Hey, just y'all just DM me and I add them on there, CL.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to be on the WhatsApp chat, that's like where we just sort of update ourselves, just keep ourselves updated on whatever's going on, and it's sort of like an open chat for us to talk about anything and whatever. So it's pretty cool. So if anybody wants to be a part of that, feel free to join that. It's a good look because it's like you know about things before they happen, at least, with us. So
Wait,
we
so
also
who
have
do I
a
DM?
Telegram.
You or her?
We also have a Telegram chat too.
Heck yeah. All right, yeah. So if anybody wants to do it, I guess you just add your name. And then we can make sure that happens. I guess we can play a song in the meantime. Just give everybody a couple minutes just to put the information in if you want to get down with the chat. I probably should have said something earlier, but be a lot going on. Trying to just stay connected. All right, last record for real. Check this one out.